looking at their cell phone for 20 minutes. It's not a chair. It's a piece of workout equipment. And what is the Torah? It's not a chair. It's a piece of mental workout equipment for your soul, Rabbanu Shalom. You can't transcend to the highest levels of Ein Sof without the Torah.
I just asked about the sponsor.
Jesus, you're interrupting my lecture here. Don't you have 10 minutes for Torah? You're always complaining, Al. I'm sure I'm not the first one to tell you this, but think about that.
I've spent, an hour and a half engaging in Torah.
Think about that. 1.5 hours out of how many thousands already lived, and finally you gave yourself up to Hashem for 1 hour? Reading just a few things from the Siddur, just a few little things, snippets, really, snippets.
I feel like
I need 3 minutes stick.
I am pardoned by my Aliyah status.
It's just a status.
I don't have to fast on Yom Kippur. I don't have to do anything. I can eat bread during Passover. I'm pardoned.
Well, I have 7 tattoos because I wanted to prove to myself that putting ink molecules in my skin wouldn't damn me to death or a less than Jewish burial. When I got my first tattoo, my Uncle Bart was like, "You put a pagan symbol on your body. Oh, I was like, Bart, it's just art." Then he made a fart.
Sorry, I'm leaving, but this is a great session of 10 minutes of Torah. I enjoyed it.
Thanks. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the show. This has been 10 minutes of Torah. Don't have 10 minutes for Hashem. It's a irascible conversation, that people are looking for, but we didn't give it to them. This has also been another Clubhouse production called Getting Jews to Read Torah Wisdom Books with Adrian Dittman. That's right. Sometimes you got to trick a Jew into learning something about the Jew. In order to make a Jew, you got to teach them about the Jew by making them read a book about what it means to be Jewish. Do you agree? We did it? Did we accomplish our goals? I keep getting messages on YouTube. They keep calling me Mr. Clean, Baldy, Mount Baldy. Shiny bald. Congratulations.
Shiny bald.
Look at that bald head. It's shining, glistening the light of the ceiling, reflecting the light. Well, that was fun. That was a real Torah incident, I would call it. I would call this a Torah intervention. That's what I would like to call this. And I support those that support Torah. So if you support Torah, I support you. And if you support Torah, then you support me because I support the Torah. We've got a lot of live streamers watching us right now. Over 45 live streamers. Somebody just called me Egghead. Thanks. He's rocking that shit, though.
Wait, where are you live streaming?
YouTube.
Egghead.
Yeah. It's been fun. Bro, cook an egg on your forehead. Egghead. That's what they call me, the Egghead. Okay, well, since this is the Egghead show, that's actually what I should call myself, the Egghead show. Okay, this is the 30th Tao Te Ching. Those who wish to use Tao to influence others don't rely on force or weapons or military strategies. Force rebounds. Weapons turn on their wielders. Battles are inevitably followed by famines. Just do what needs to be done and then stop. Or a less than Jewish burial. Okay, this is the rest. Just do what needs to be done and then stop. Attain your purpose, but don't press your advantage. Be resolute, but don't boast. Succeed but don't crow. Accomplish but don't overpower. Overdoing things invites decay, and this is against Tao. Whatever is against Tao soon ceases to be. Nasty wrote. Narsty wrote, how many times a week do you shave that dome? Pull up the blonde hair. Should I get my blonde wig? Do you want me to go trans? You want me to go trans on you? Okay, this is chapter 31 of the Tao Te Ching. Weapons are tools of evil, shunned and avoided by everything in nature. Because people of Tao follow nature, they want nothing to do with weapons. Unevolved people are eager to act out of strength, but a person of Tao values peace and quiet. He knows that every being is born of the womb of Tao. This means that his enemies are his enemies second, his own brothers and sisters first. Thus he resorts to weapons only in the direst necessity, and then uses them with utmost restraint. He takes no pleasure in victory, because to rejoice in victory is to delight in killing. Whoever delights in killing will not find success in this world. Observe victories as you observe a death in the family with sorrow and mourning. Every victory is a funeral for kin. Schlep your bald head, please. Okay, that's been my Torah study of the day. Rabbi Shalom. Hope you enjoyed it. Hermes, thank you for coming to the room. Thank you for reading Genesis. I hope you read more. That sandwich in your PTR looks delicious. Okay, everybody, this has been 10 minutes of Torah. Don't have 10 minutes for Hashem. This is your host, Adrian Dittman. Hope you enjoy it.
It won't be like anywhere in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter. Yeah. Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers. The power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war will be destroyed almost certainly, simply by the effects of nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Even if there's no retaliatory strike. If there is a retaliatory strike, it's beyond discussion. It won't be like any war in history. If there's a nuclear war among major powers, the power that initiates the war.
Similarity. So the people that share the most genetic similarity with the Canaanites, who were indigenous to that land, who I guess prior to the conquest of King David were the autochthonous inhabitants of that land, right? You'd be saying that those people, are related to are most closely related to modern day Lebanese. So you'd be saying like the modern day Lebanese people have demon blood, are like vampires, bro, and that's insane.
All right, so number one, you keep first of all, he instructed for them to go to war and wipe out like men. If they went into war, of course you're gonna wipe out everybody you go to war with. There was very specific instructions.
Not sure God's on.
I'm talking, Hoodie. Don't do that. Literally,
But I took a
let
half
you
my
talk.
time.
I just literally let you talk.
You rushed me at the end, though.
Okay, yeah, because you're taking too long.
That's okay. I just
No,
want to
because listen, Hoodie, listen to
All
me.
right, go on,
Listen to what I'm saying. There were very specific instructions about the Amalekites, right? Now, here's the thing. You know my answer about that. That's the thing. See, and you're just so disingenuous. Like, you think that I'm
That's
telling
not
you,
true.
you need to stop talking while I'm talking, Hoodie. You think that I'm talking about you silencing your opinion when on the app? Listen, no, what I'm talking about is you come into this room knowing we're here to defend genocide. You already know my
Here to defend
perspectives
genocide.
on Hoodie. Stop interrupting me.
So I think you misspoke. I'm sorry.
No, you already know my I said we're here to defend the Palestinians against genocide. How did I misspeak?
You said we're here to defend genocide.
Okay, sorry. We're here to defend against, genocide. And you already know my views that either this is not the actual God and this is another God that they've put the name of Yahweh over, or that the things that they say about them being Nephilim related and having mutations is true. You already know that I believe this. So you're missing. Hold on, I'm still talking, Hoodie. I'm literally getting pissed for real. Like, I'm not getting pissed for real. I'm getting pissed for real. Stop interrupting. You already know the answers. So the fact that you come into this particular room that we're defending and proclaiming that, genocide is being committed against the Palestinians, for you to crack this Pandora's box open when you already know my answers of it is just flat out disingenuous. This isn't about your freedom to be able to, because you know the answers. That means that you're literally deliberately coming.
And I'm saying they're stupid. What do you get about that? I'm saying you cannot. You cannot assume the moral high ground when you endorse genocide.
I never said that I'm done for you to start.
Nor did I when you interrupted me.
I'm only on
nor did I. I didn't say I was done when you interrupted me.
You've already closed.
Because you forced me to. I didn't have a choice.
I did, because I have a green bean and you're going too long. Now you do this to people. You do this to people in our room all the time.
No problem.
So what you're doing is super disingenuous. You're
just repeating yourself.
Can you hear it now?
Let me bring ethics.
You're just repeating yourself over and over again.
No, I'm not.
You are. It's so disingenuous.
Because you won't let me talk. Shut the fuck up and let me talk. Hoodie, this isn't the type of person that I want to be friends with. This is the type of person who intentionally comes to sabotage things you're doing, knowing full well. Because we've already had this conversation, but you're in a disingenuous way.
Directed at Andrew. I didn't even direct at you initially.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I think you're going to have to move me down.
I think I'm going to have to. Stop interrupting. It's so rude.
It's just like repetitive.
Tell you what, I'll give you full chance once Sarah lands. If you can kindly mute your microphone, brother. I actually want to hear you out as well. I don't know where you're going with this point, but I don't want anybody interrupting you. When Sarah lands, I want you to respond. And I want to hear you out as well.
Thank you, Ronald. Thank you.
I'm really, really hurt and upset. Like Ace and Amir, imagine like you and, a friend, you call him a friend, you have this conversation all the time. He knows that you don't think that like the people in the Bible, like you don't think that it was actually like humanoids. Like you think that according to the text, there were fallen angels that had sex with women and they gave birth to this line of Nephilim blood. And that is who is being, eradicated from the earth. Now, either I believe that the text is flawed and this didn't happen, or this is my explanation of it, because I refuse to accept that it's okay just to annihilate full-on humans like that. He knows that already. He knows that I do not think it is acceptable to commit genocide in the way, so I have two ways of dealing with it. Either this is a false story that's in the Bible and it's been it's another God that has been put in there, or these are genetically mutated beings that were the Nephilim, and there's ways of showing that might be the case. He knows this already. So he comes into a room that we're defending the Palestinians from genocide and acts like he doesn't have this information to crack open the box that you and Andrew, don't you support genocide? Don't you guys support genocide? And acting like he's not already privy to the apologetics that we do when it comes to dealing with that scripture. In front of you guys, he wants to act like he's completely oblivious to the fact that either I don't accept that, or it has to be that these were not fully humans. Like, and Amalekite actually means blood suckers, and there's reason to believe, like there's rabbinical writings about them being like, I don't want to say vampires, but damn near. Okay, so this is how I deal with it. Either they were not fully human, or this is a text that is manipulated. But in no way do I think that the creator of all things would co-sign to doing something like that and using the text to try to do the Palestinians like that. This dude knows this. So tell me, Ace, Amir, do you think it is a friend? Would you call somebody a friend if they came into the room acting like they don't have that information, dumb and oblivious, and trying to act like, well, don't you and Selah support genocide? I mean, doesn't your text say, even though I'm already privy to the answers that come across from that and the reality of how, no, you don't support genocide, do you think that's a disingenuous thing to do? And would you think that person is safe to be friends with? Ace, please tell me what you think about that.
Honestly, I have no clue. Because I have some friends who are, I don't know, it depends on your friendship, right? I have friends where we just fuck around with each other, poke at each other.
I don't find defending genocide.
Not to this extreme. Not to this extreme.
Yeah.
I haven't got that long left, by the way, so I need to go in like about 5 minutes. Can we like do the who's a good friend shit later? Like,
Yeah, can you please explain your position? Because I don't understand it at all. I think I'm.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'm not going to touch the friend stuff. I mean, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, when I joined the room, I will say this, like, when I joined the room, I directed initially at Andrew. You chose to respond. So I think going forward, what you should probably try to do is, if you don't like criticism being directed your way, right? Then you shouldn't engage with the thing, and then you shouldn't engage. Stop interrupting.
No, can you let him respond?
Pulling your hair out about being.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah, please say let him respond, because I gotta give him the fair chance. Go on, Timothy. Please respond.
Yeah, you shouldn't get involved in the discussion. Offer some kind of defense or response, and then you know what? Fuck this. This is boring.
Bye.
Timothy. Oh my God.
No, let him go. Do you know how dishonest that is? It would be one thing if somebody's giving you true criticism. It's another thing if it's disingenuous criticism. Because
people know you here. You don't need to defend yourself. People know you here.
Yeah, we just wanted to hear him out, Sailor.
I'm more mad at the fact that do you know, like, we joke around that, like, I'm betrothed to him. Like, in the God Talk room, this is supposed to be my God Talk fiance.
Oh, girl.
I'm really
you know
I got the fiance.
girl.
Yeah.
Ooh, so this is some, like, oh, God.
Exactly.
This is
my
really
God.
exactly.
This is like some, Andrew, what have you done, brother? What have you done? You created a family. Oh my.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You are showing your hand. Oh, my.
It's not. I mean, you might be American. I don't know. Yeah. Do you live in the?
Because he keeps changing his profile. This is a big Christian liar. I debated him many times.
He's not a Christian. Yeah, I'm not. Wait, what do you mean? I changed my profile? I mean, I changed the picture. I haven't changed my profile.
You changed your name too.
No, I've had the same name since I've been on here.
Well,
he's always
you
been.
don't know him, DC. DC, you don't know him.
Yeah,
this isn't Islamophobe, He's making rules.
No, you're mistaking. You're mistaking me for somebody else. That's not. Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, okay. He claimed to be an ex-Muslim, and he will never be.
Well, you're mistaken. Sully has never claimed to be an ex-Muslim. You are mistaking him from somebody.
You know him, DC?
Yes, I know him. Both Discord, Clubhouse.
Okay. So, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, anyway. All right, as I was saying, you've got the Quran, you've got Hadith corpus, which is sayings of the Prophet, and then you've got exegetes or explanation of verses, where you'd have people at that time, scholars who would, you'd say, not elaborate, but put their opinion or interpretation to certain verses. So that's where it comes from. Sorry. It's not some modern opinion that's come in the last 20 years or something.
Well, I didn't say 20 years, but I don't know. What's your sword?
What's that?
I didn't say it would have to be in the past 20 years. I mean, it's been understood longer than that, but what?
Okay,
You're
well,
saying
100 years, 200 years. No, it's
in
not
the
hadith.
hadith source? Okay.
Hadith is a saying of the Prophet, so you will be in that.
Okay. So, okay. I'm just wondering, like,
Okay.
what's the earliest source you have for your interpretation of the verse?
Okay, I've put an article in the chat. Give that a read. It goes through the different opinions of that verse based on classical scholars. And
Yeah, GCC. So, do you think this is just a coincidence that two veins came from between the backbones and the ribs, and they are connected with the testes? The same thing with the womb of the women. Okay, if you don't want to see the sun, it's your problem.
I don't know. What do you mean by the blood supply referring to a coincidence? It's
Yeah, go to Google pictures and type innervation of reproductive system.
Next to that, who do its best to interfere with the affairs of the country next to them. The examples is Iran, for example, and some other Islamic countries. That is the nature of the beast. So even if you take all of the political, religious context out of this and have Israel to be just a country, another country, I have a feeling, have a sentiment that there would be Israel, that country, would be fully interfered with this democratic system, with their way of thinking, because the Muslims are not happy, will not leave you alone until until they impose their way of thinking on you. So that's the way I think about it. Perhaps my view may be just a bad. I don't say an tragedy, but I can give you examples why actually this is the case. So even again, to summarize, even if you take all of the Israel foundational kind of existence and all that stuff away, still an Islamic Republic of Palestine, an Islamic Republic of X and Y and Z would cause trouble in that country and in the country next to them. And you see this happening all the time. And so anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that.
So basically what I hear about that is, and what I think about the situation is that it's Islamic expansion and colonization of not only the Middle East and North Africa, but the goal of the Islamists is to colonize the entirety of the world, really. I mean, they talk about global domination. They don't believe in providing equal rights to minorities, and they want to govern everybody under Sharia. That's why they're creating these big Islamic caliphates. Is that kind of on target?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a fear, and which is now, as we well know in Europe, there's a substantial societal and political opposition.
This strange purple discovery from Italy has scientists rethinking everything they knew.
And I hopefully this can be actually the case. Everything needs to be done to stop these menace from propagating into our secular democratic, countries. And again, to summarize, the world domination is not an ideology of proposition. It's an ideology of imposition. Again, as I said, they're not happy until you are like they are. But particularly to Sharia laws, and we can go through all that stuff. It's horrific. It's a radical, barbaric ideology that it has to be confronted before it infects in a serious way European countries and the US and perhaps some other countries as well.
So someone had changed the title since I've been gone, and I have the red bar, so I'm not sure if you can actually hear me right now. But I'm wondering what you guys think about the death penalty, in regards to this conflict in the Middle East. I'm wondering if anybody has any ideas of what the death penalty looks like, maybe how.
You're breaking up. I couldn't hear the last part. Hello?
1800s, like Trump's granddad, early 1900s. They were welcomed in. They were welcomed in.
Do you know that we get almost 1 million immigrants every year into this country, mostly black and brown? The facts just disagree with your opinion.
Well, I don't know about that, right? I mean, we get so many immigrants that don't get classified as immigrants, right? Because they flew over and just overstayed their visas, right? Or, just like Elon Musk.
Those are illegal.
Just like Elon Musk, right? But the characterization is different, right? Elon Musk was an illegal. He's illegal.
I don't know if he's illegal or not.
No, he was illegal. No, he was illegal. He was illegal.
What's the evidence of that?
He wasn't supposed to be working when he came in through the visa that he got, the type of visa he had.
Lonzo, you illegal. Go back to motherfucking Haiti or Dominican Republic. Take your anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, racist ass off this app. Go get a job and do something with your life, you motherfucking racist, dirty dog. Go back to Haiti. Go back to Dominican Republic and take you and all your fucking pieces of shit with you and go right back to that little island where you belong, you anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, dirty dog, no good propagandist, misinformationist piece of shit. You low IQ, go read a book, go to the gym, get a job, cook yourself a dinner, do something with your life. Anything other than creating hate speech online 24/7. You evil, low IQ, uneducated, lying, dirty dog, anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, racist piece of shit.
That's a fact. More than any other country on the planet, and more than any other country in history.
I agree. I think they should go. They should go to Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like I think. Israel.
Why would you want them to go to Israel?
Because like when places suffer from diversity, what better?
They want to come here. You can't.
Yeah, but we
can go to Israel, not the U.S.
Ethnic cleansing.
No,
I don't want to ethnic cleansing.
No.
Yes. That's called ethnic cleansing.
Israel does is
Israel's a small country.
Yeah, so but it's got plenty of space. It got plenty of space.
And we have plenty of immigrants.
It's got plenty of space.
And plenty of immigrants.
So they need more.
I want to clear something. Hold on, Lonzo. This is how you clear this up. Can you hear me? So when you say brown, who are you talking about?
People with brown skin.
No. So they call any Hispanic brown. So again, I'm gonna ask you, when you say brown, who are you talking about?
Same answer.
Okay. So do you know that they call all of those people Hispanic? Hello? Anybody?
I don't know when you say they call. They're very
systematically.
Hang on, I'm answering your question. I think what you mean to say is Latino.
Hispanic, Latino is interchangeable.
They have specific meanings, and people
No. So let's deal with the specific meaning. I'm a historian. Let's deal with the specific meaning.
You're a historian?
Yes. So let's deal with the specific.
Have you published anything?
Not making no statement like that. You a historian?
How?
Okay, no, let's go to never mind.
They have a designation for white Hispanics. They're not all brown.
Yes, they do. So this is why I asked him, who is he talking about when he says brown? That's my point of my initial question. Because they get lumped in.
And what's your point?
So my point is, how are you able to substantiate that most of them that come, when you say, that's why I was asked, when you say brown, what do you mean when you say brown? Who are you talking about?
So I answered you twice.
Does that include European Spanish speakers?
I'm I'm giving you straight census data. I'm not.
No. I'm asking. No. Hold on. But I understand statistical analysis, so that's why I'm being very technical here.
Excellent.
Who are you talking about when you say brown?
What? Do you remember my answer?
Yes, I remember your answer. So now we're at a hold on. So now we're in a situation now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because what the other guy mentioned is correct, right? So they do say Hispanic, white, or non-white, and different things like that. But when they say brown, they lump them in. So that's why I asked you, when you say brown, who are you talking about?
South Asians are brown.
I know it's not. I know it. Hold on. I know it's not. But hold on. But I'm asking. The way I'm asking the question is based on what he said. So when you say brown, L, who are you talking about specifically?
People with browns.
Because your point is that most of them. Hold on. Your point is that. Hold on. Your point is that most of them are not European, correct?
My point is that they're mostly black and brown, as I said.
No, because that becomes very problematic because the way that these terms Hispanic and Latino are used and the way the term brown is used, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand here. So are you implying that most immigrants that come to America are not European?
No, I'm saying they have brown skin or black skin.
Stop, bro, because they call Southern Europeans. They claim that Southern Europeans have brownish skin. That's why they call them the olive skin tone and all of that.
Who said
So
that?
again,
I say olive?
No. But I'm saying, I'm showing you why this gets lumped into one. So I'm showing you why this is problematic. So when you say brown, who are you? When you say brown, who are you talking about?
I don't know. You're not understanding my answer?
No. I am understanding. Hold on, Lonzo, real quick.
Let's move on because this is like been 4 minutes now. It's been.
You understand my point I'm making?
Yeah, but
Yes,
you're wrong about a lot of stuff. Though.
I'm not wrong. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not wrong.
For example, olive.
I'm not wrong.
They're usually like Middle Easterns are considered olive. Like Mediterranean olive, which is kind of half right. What you said.
No, Mediterranean.
It's not half right. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, you don't, because
I do know what I'm talking about. I do know.
Brown ain't just black Hispanics.
I didn't say that it was just them. I'm going based on what he said. I just told you that. I'm not saying that. I'm going based on what he said. Were you here with when he said what he said?
All right, we're gonna move on. And to be honest, brown and olive is more interchangeable than anything.
Nobody calls Mediterranean.
Okay, so that's to my point.
When it comes to.
Yeah, dude, I just looked it up.
Yeah, that's to my point. So that's what I'm saying. So say that to L. So what you're saying, say that to L, not me. Don't direct it to me.
All right. We're gonna move on. Great points for those that caught it. All right. We have Keegan, we have Musa, we have Dave, Zoe, Eva, DJ Fridays.
I'll be very short and sweet with my answer here. Are deportations only for the black and brown? It should be.
Could you expound on that?
Hey, what did he say?
Said it should be.
Yeah. Well, could you please PTR your Nazi salute while you?
Hey, who was that? Who was that? Was that Zadok?
No, that was Keegan. That was Keegan.
Yo, L, you funny.
Thank you very much.
I like this guy. I like this guy, man.
No, you shouldn't. Elon Musk definitely did a hail salute the other day. Did y'all see that?
It wasn't a hell salute. That's bullshit.
Wait a minute.
I'm joking.
Hey, yo.
Did you feel the same way when Hillary Rodham Clinton did it or Bill Clinton did it?
Fuck them all.
I'm just saying, I didn't see the same outrage from niggas. They were talking about both Hillary.
I was a kid, but fuck them all. Hey, so Lonzo,
What black people mad about the Nazi salute? Shouldn't only be Jews.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, Lonzo. I need you to look up. I need you to look up a Roman salute.
Come on, Friday.
Friday.
Just let me
Really?
Just let
Friday.
me fucking
Friday. Really?
Bro, can I finish?
I actually have
You
play
are
by
the
play.
biggest
Can I
coon.
finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead, fat boy.
Yo, listen. Look up "My Heart Goes Out to You" in regards to a Roman salute. Then actually look up a Nazi salute. It's two totally different things. There's a sequence of a Nazi salute that was missing for it to be a Nazi salute.
What's the sequence?
My heart goes
Heil Hitler.
My heart goes it's kind of like a Roman sign language. Is a Roman sign language gesture that even like somebody just said Obama has done it.
Nigga, he ain't Roman. He ain't a Roman. He's a fucking South African racist dude who's used to doing that shit.
All right, you got it.
Context.
Listen. I know you probably all right. Just you got it, bro. Dick sucker, you got.
No, you don't want dick sucking for Elon Musk.
Excuse me. It is a Roman salute. Yes, DJ.
It is not a Roman salute. That guy did. He did it twice. He just didn't once.
What's the
He did it
purpose
twice.
what's the purpose of doing a Roman
I'll
salute?
tell you why.
in a
Because
convention?
if you notice,
What is it symbolizing?
it symbolizes. It's like sign language. It says my heart goes out to you. And as he was saying it, he tapped his heart, and then he did a downward swoop with his foot.
You a nigga. You one clown.
Just look it up.
A downward swoop? I didn't see a downward swoop. Did anybody else see a downward swoop?
I didn't see a downward swoop.
I'm
not gonna lie, gang. He didn't do no downward swoop.
I didn't do it.
I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, I was with you in the first half, but he ain't do no downward swoop, brother.
Friday, who's dick sucking? Elon Musk ain't gonna do nothing for you.
Listen, you
Stop
dick sucking in real life.
Real life. Dude, you look like fucking a fucking clown from a Star Wars episode. You look like a galactic animal. If anybody gonna be dick sucking, is you.
Listen.
You Jabba the Hutt looking motherfucker.
There are no clowns in Star Wars, for the record.
At the end of the day, you're like a disgrace to your fathers. You're a disgrace to your father. So you're not on my level, bro.
Nigga, nigga, a woman would even look at you. The women, how much do you pay for it? Because you're an ugly motherfucker. You are disgraceful. You look like gutter trash. You guppy looking motherfucker. Dude, you got your ass. You got shit stains on your underwear. Shut the fuck up.
I've been with for 10 years. She looks at me every fucking
Nigga, you pay her. She must have been ugly as you. You guys well meet.
PTR my girl, bro.
You PTR.
Trust me. Yo, listen, you not on our level, bro. Like,
nigga, on whose level? Nigga, you ain't got no level. Which levels you got?
Nigga, before I'm shocked.
You
ain't got no levels, motherfucker. You gutter trash. You gutter trash, yo. You ain't got no levels. You beneath everybody. Nigga, go DJ. Go DJ.
2025 can't be no faster, bro. We need to deport you faster.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Hey, Friday, where they gonna deport me back to the U.S. Virgin Islands?
No, we need you.
Hold on now. Nevis is nice right now. I'm just being honest.
We need to send you straight to the fucking hell.
You
think you need like U.S. Virgin Islands? I miss the mackerel sandwiches, nigga.
You know, the thing about you Fridays is that
Tortola meat.
You think. Hold on, Friday.
I'm not addressing you anymore, bro.
Friday, unless you're in the Friday, I know you're not in my tax bracket. Friday, you're not in my tax bracket.
Bitching at each other. Can we stick to the topic? They're just bitching at each other. What's the point listening to this?
This is men talking.
This is not men, it's a couple of bitches whining at each other.
Ma'am, please.
Let's PPR this.
Nah, he just called you broke Friday.
Don't tell you just mute that.
Friday, you don't even my tax Friday. So just take that and run with it.
That Friday.
Friday, I literally make more money in retirement income than you fucking make a year. Shut the fuck up.
Your tax, your PTO tax.
Oh, we going tax return for tax return?
Yeah, dude, let's do tax returns for tax return.
Okay, PTR your tax return Friday. Friday, PTR your tax return.
PTR your checking account balance, and I'll do mine.
Friday, PTR your tax return.
Yo, PTR your checking account.
No, PTR. You said you're gonna PTR it.
Wait, no,
PTR your tax return right now.
The instigation is crazy though. Who said?
Friday, PTR your tax.
All right, tell me. I think the only thing, if you look at the top link, the only thing that Elon was missing, music like this in the background.
Nah.
Who's the woman singing?
No, real talk.
I see it. Was it not? I ain't gonna lie, Lonzo. It was just about to get good. The nigga about to
Lonzo,
get bank account.
Lonzo, I didn't see a downward swoop though.
Oh my
You heard me, Lonzo?
Huh?
I hear a downward swoop.
Nah, it wasn't no downward swoop. It wasn't a
I
downward
see a downward swoop, right?
Yeah, it was definitely not a downward swoop. It's not a downward swoop. And check this out. Downward swoop is crazy. Yo, and then check this out, right? That was like a response to like them banning TikTok for 14 hours. Like everybody went to that new Blue Sky or whatever that new Chinese app and shit.
Yeah, they be on that in Brazil because they banned Twitter.
Yep. So a bunch of young Chinese kids now are learning German, and they're learning how to sing that song. So that shit was kind of like fucking crazy. So
now back to these checking accounts.
No, I just think it's goofy when people. It's one thing.
Friday, post your checking account. Friday. No. Post your checking account.
You gotta post yours too. I'm not.
No, okay, I'll post mine. Go ahead and post.
All right, let's go. You go first.
Nigga, you said you're gonna post yours. You go first. The fuck?
Because I know you ain't gonna post it.
No, nigga, you said you back up what you say. Now you trying to chicken out. Back up what you say.
Let's take some side bets. I got 5 on Friday. Put the number you got on Friday. On Fridays. He talking in the chat. Put the money you got on ML Fridays. I don't know.
I got $5 on ML.
I don't know if you want that smoke, bro.
Hey, Lonzo, I got -$2 on Friday.
Listen. I have no problem posting mine, but what's going to be the consequence if I post mine and he don't post it?
If you do, he will. For sure.
So what?
Does say that the wife should obey the husband. So if you're better at something or worse at something, it may be true that you're more suited to do something than the man is, but it should be something that ultimately, if it comes down to a decision has to be made, I think the man should be the head of the household and make the decision, and that the wife should follow. And if she knows that he loves her and is trying to do things that are in her best interest and is trying to protect her, she should have no problem doing that. I think most women would.
I want to welcome, if you guys don't mind, I want to welcome Cynic here. Cynic, what's up, bro? Assalamu alaikum.
Cynic, I'm out of my space. That's true.
Andrew is here. I'm wondering why is he in this space?
Because I crawl out of my space every once in a while.
Every once in a while, very rarely do we get this opportunity to witness Andrew outside of his original habitat. So, it's just going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Normally, I'm with the God haters, Cynic.
But are you here to discuss the topic, or are you here to bring your habitat to us?
Oh well, the habitat may follow. I can't stop whoever it is that might come in here. But
I will just say that no, I'm fine. We've been talking about it.
Andrew, who do you think won, Israel or the Palestinians?
Well, I don't think either of them won. I think they both lost.
But when it came down to achieving mission objectives, who do you think?
I don't know. I don't think about it in those terms.
Andrew, I got a question for you, bro. Andrew, I got a question for you, bro. Do you support Palestine or Israel?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, I support them, and so I don't know enough. Honestly, I don't know enough about it, and so I'll be learning, more about what you guys want to comment on things. I listen a lot about this because I don't spend a lot of time
heard this topic before. A lot of your guys actually support Palestine, and they.
I understand, but that's fair. That's a fair.
Yeah, but let me just say my view though. My view is this: insofar as people are killing innocent people, I don't support it, and I think it's evil. I think they ought not do it on either side. Earlier, I said Trump or whoever said there's good people on both sides, whatever he's talking about. There's evil people on both sides. There's stuff that's going on here that I think is wrong, that people are doing. You don't kill innocent people. I don't care what your mission is. You don't go around killing innocent people.
Your God did.
Yeah, but I know, because there's two things. I don't think God kills. First of all, God is the giver of life. And we are essentially God's property. And I have no problem with saying that God can kill people. God can kill people because he has the ability to put people in heaven. He can anesthetize them. He can raise them from the dead. He can do all kinds of things. Yeah, God can kill people. But what we are allowed to do is different. God doesn't give us his authority. He tells us, you do this and do this and do this and don't do that. And so my whole point is that we aren't to kill innocent people. And so if somebody's holding a baby and shooting at me, I'm not going to shoot the baby to kill them. Not going to happen. There's something wrong.
So how do you justify that with the land of murder?
Good God.
No, God doesn't. No, hold on. Murder is the unjustified taking of a human life. All I'm going to do if you tell me that is what is your standard of justice?
Was I confused in my justification?
What is your standard? Well, hold on. What is your standard of what it is to be justified? I think the God of all creation is justified. No. I just told you. What does murder mean? Define murder. Define murder. Define it.
I like that. Okay, wait. Murder does not mean that I have to take you and then snap you off your neck, right? I don't have to physically hold you, right? But murder could be through computerized, right? Because apparently.
No, I'm not talking about the method. No.
But listen, that also is murder.
Honestly, I don't know why we're entertaining Swab. If the Swab is going to give you a precise answer.
Off the handles.
I'm not hearing what everybody's saying.
Is the killing of.
Yeah, no, hold on. Murder, if you look up the definition, which is important because people don't understand what they're even saying. If you look up the definition of what the term murder is, it is the unjustified taking of a human life. Of course you think you can. Hold on, whoever the one. Hold on, real quick. Intentional, real quick. Andrew. Intentional. No. It needs to be intentional, and there needs to be forethought. That is true. That is correct. Or it needs to be something where you're aware of what you're doing. You don't have to necessarily premeditate it. It can be on the spot, like a crime of passion. People do that. Okay, but here's the thing. The woman that spoke, and I'm sorry I can't see my screen right now, but you said it's just, snapping. You were talking about different ways of doing it, snapping their neck, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. That's not what we're talking about. Hold on, listen. The method of killing somebody is irrelevant to the definition of murder, because the method of killing somebody, you could employ that and it can be completely justified. If somebody comes in and tries to rape and kill my family, I'll chop your effing head off. And fair enough, right? So the point is, Yeah.
Go ahead. Andrew, give me a standard idea as to why there are a 14-year-olds, right? Why are there 15-year-olds? Why are there a 2-year-old, right? With a bullet to the head.
Oh, I don't justify that. I don't justify that. Yes, well, so look, if there's a 15-year-old that knows what he's doing and he has a rifle, because listen, when I was 15, I knew right from wrong. I stole from my mother when I was like 7 or 6, and I knew It was wrong. I knew it. I didn't know it based on anybody telling me.
So
I
you're
knew
saying
I had done something
every
wrong.
child that
So
died
what I'm
had
saying
a
is,
weapon in
so
their hand.
No.
Are you really just saying that?
No, that's
Am I
not what I'm
hearing you
saying.
correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying. If you'll let me finish, you'll understand. If somebody is 15 or 16, well, here, hold on real quick. If somebody's 15 or 16 and they're holding a firearm and they're shooting at my family or shooting at somebody who's innocent, then I think it is justified to kill them. But if they are
let me
not,
give you a scenario.
but if they are not,
If this guy was holding a donkey, that's all he was doing. He didn't have a tank. He did not have a car.
you
he
don't
did not
kill
have
him.
sheep.
No,
you
don't kill him.
He was just rolling with a donkey and coming back home.
Listen, we gotta let people finish. Andrew, I have a quick question. When you said that if somebody comes into your home is threatening the life of your family and you have to kill that person to protect yourself, now do you think is justifiable murder to then go after that person's grandma, grandpa, mom, dad?
No, absolutely not. So I'm totally opposed to that. I do think that you don't go after other people that are completely unrelated, that don't have any, they're not complicit, they're not supportive of what's happening. They're not, you don't do that. And even if they're supportive, even if they're like, yeah, I think it's okay, if somebody goes and kills some innocent people and they're like, yeah, I think it's fine that they did that. I think those people are disgusting people, and they're people that should, but you don't go and kill them. You don't go kill people that are family or related to somebody who has killed somebody. You just don't do that. So I don't think the killing of innocent people is good by anyone. I don't think anybody should go up and kill people that do not intend harm, that do not try. They're not.
There's no guilt by proxy, is what you're saying.
Okay, but
right?
in war. Okay, but in a classical sense, in war, in your Bible, this notion of a people who are an aggressor, who cannot be reconciled with the God in your Bible, commands you to treat them in a very specific way.
Yeah, look, right. There's three groups of
annihilation, right?
Yeah, but hold on. And people, you can do this. This is fine. If you want to point to this, I have no issue with it. I'll take it head on. God gives life. God knows everything. God is the one that is orchestrating this whole scenario of life, everything that is going on from the beginning of man to the end. God is doing that.
No one's denying.
Okay, so if God is doing that, God has a special, you might call it special pleading, but it's not, because he's a different kind of being. God is not a human. God is entirely.
For God's sakes,
God is the authority.
For God's sakes,
right and wrong.
That's correct. God is the source of right and wrong. To even stand and look at God, to even stand and condemn God.
God is gonna.
Yeah, but hold on real quick. You're going to draw on moral principles that God provided you to even condemn God. That's the issue. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't.
So if your God claims to be the God of justice and mercy, and he's not expressing God's justice and mercy, he is contradicting himself.
Well, no, because what does justice mean?
Now he's judging God. Now you don't.
Yeah, exactly. You are judging God, and you're using the standard. But yeah. But let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Andrew, I have a question for you, bro. I feel like you're a father for yourself. I'm sure, right?
I'm not, actually. No, I have nieces and nephews.
Do you have a mother by any chance? A father?
I do.
Okay, I want to ask this question. Imagine if someone, brother, I don't want to say this in the room, out of respect for everyone, imagine someone does something so horrific to your mother. I don't want to say exactly what it is, out of respect. How would you personally feel? Please answer that question.
I feel that it's horrible.
If someone was to rape your
you're talking about somebody. Yeah, it's terrible. Somebody rapes my mother. Terrible. Okay, now what? What do you want to follow up?
Well, that's what happens to Palestinians, my dear brother.
Okay, listen. Raping somebody who's innocent. Hold on. Raping somebody who's innocent. I don't even think raping somebody who's guilty is even good. You don't rape people. Murdering somebody. Like what I mean by murder, to be very clear, is killing somebody that you don't have the justification to do so. And I don't think somebody who has not aggressed you or aggressed anyone else or is not in the middle of trying to hurt somebody, I don't think you should kill them. I don't think that you should kill people who are unarmed, innocent people. I don't think you should do that. And I don't care that it's to save your country or whatever. You don't do that because you don't do that. Collateral damage is not acceptable. I'm not for collateral damage.
That people use from their biblical scripture, but they, you know how everything is there is an interpretation, right? Because we just talked about an earlier situation about the ownership and women and whatnot. What do you feel about that when people try to justify killing at a mass level by pulling out something from scripture that's thousands of years old and perhaps interpreting it in a way that makes it justifiable? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that we need to look. Yeah, I think that we need to look at the scripture, because I think the problem is that people. Here's the thing: anybody that has a heart that is set on doing something wrong, they can twist almost any scripture to say anything that they want. They can come to the scripture that thinks that, you know, this happens in Islam. People who think that, you know, it's okay to subjugate the unbeliever, cut their head off, do whatever. It doesn't matter.
My brother, those verses you're talking about.
No. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. There's people who take scripture. That's my point. That's my point. Okay. So my point is that somebody could appeal to, which Cynic was bringing up, and Himothy just got kicked out, or not kicked out, but he left the room because of the heated discussion over the Amalekites, the Canaanites, etc. Now listen, God said to kill those people. He even said to kill the babies. Generally speaking, and even in that circumstance, the people who did it, the Israelites, I can almost guarantee you, and even by the text itself, they weren't like, yeah, cool, let's go kill some babies.
How do you know that?
I'm sure.
How do you know that? Look how ecstatic they are today.
Because hold on, in the scripture they say that we don't want to. In the scripture, no, listen. In the scripture it says we don't want. No, they said no. Look, when they're being told to do this, and Aaron and Moses, they're like,
Andrew,
they reject the idea. They don't want to do it.
You struggle with it. No, can you please?
Let me just talk about the aspect of God.
I have seen you struggle this.
This is who we know God to be. I don't see any God being like, yes, go and pillage a land and kill in my name.
Yeah, nor has God commanded us as Muslims to go do that anyways.
Exactly. And all the prophets has always had a test.
However, Andrew, I've seen you struggle with this topic over and over again.
When you say struggle,
your presence on Clubhouse, I think much of your presence on Clubhouse is struggling with this very moral dilemma.
When you say struggle, when you say struggle, I admit that I don't like it, but that's because you shouldn't like it.
So
that's my whole point.
Let me just insert something for you. Why even accept this narrative? Why can't we accept what the biblical scholars, what the academics say, that this book, guess what? There's no way it has one author. This book is written over a different time.
Of course, it's multiple authors. Nobody denies that.
That this is most likely someone who is Jewish, someone who is an Israelite, who is attempting to boast, who is attempting to go to hyperbolic means and use hyperbolic language as to insinuate the decimation of an enemy to dust, like something like that.
Because I find the people who've done that, and just to be clear, not all scholars agree that this is hyperbole. There's a few that try to do that, but I typically will tell you that, and there's a few conservatives who say no, this is literal, like William Lane Craig and others, and I agree with him. And here's the point, like. Yeah, nobody's going to deny that these books are written by different authors. The Bible is written by multiple authors. Everybody agrees on that. Now, the issue is, I don't know if anybody wants to say they're just being dumb. It's written over thousands of years.
It was rewritten by the Jews.
Hold on. It was written over thousands of years. That's impossible for one person to be the author. That's insane. So my point is. But hold on. My point is this. When it says go and do these things, okay, it is the case that I would be intellectually dishonest to try to say that this is somehow hyperbole in each of the cases where God says to do this.
Why?
It's very strange.
Why would you?
Because in the case that these are just idioms, go and kill every man, woman, and child, and even the animals. And then later on, when a few of the goats are still alive, God's like, why didn't you kill everything? Yeah, to say that that is just hyperbole, that is not something that is a common idiom or common expression. To go to have a follow-up, to have a follow-up.
God is like, oh, you left a few of the goats around? Oh, you motherfucker.
Well, then you just would be saying this is an addition, and I don't have any reason to believe that somebody put.
There is no reason to believe that this is from God to begin with.
No, because the scripture says, look, the scripture says in the New Testament, it says God led. It says Jesus led them out of Egypt. Jesus did. That's what it says in the New Testament. Now, I accept that God was involved in all of these things that the Old Testament narrates. The flood. I accept the flood. I accept. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
The international court system or any legal system that we live under was going to, as someone who's done something heinous, pulls out something out of their scripture and says, oh, here my justification. According to my religion, I'm allowed to do this.
Well, what they pull out is
they shouldn't do
that nation.
They can't. That's what I'm saying. So they can't. We can't do it as individuals going to court and try to pull something out of some scripture to justify something heinous that we've done. It doesn't hold up in court.
I agree.
There's also the state of morality, right?
Yeah.
Like you talk about morality, right?
Yeah.
Morality should supersede. I mean, you can believe and have faith in God, but if we are obsessive with looking at text, and then our morality goes out the door.
Okay, but hold on, Ace. I think that the Bible is a very moral book, and I think it is how we should draw our morality. We just need to be careful about application. But here's the thing: the scripture clearly.
We're talking about.
But this is the key point, please. It is the case that if God tells you to do something, I don't care what man tells me to do. I don't even care what the laws are. If God can't, well, so hold on, just a second, real quick. If God came down and told me to do something, I don't give a rip what the law says. I don't care. Because what is it? Because that is morality. That's what morality is. The fact that God,
from religion, right?
It's derived from God. It's derived from God.
It's contradictory. So if God has come down directly,
it's not contradictory.
No. If God has come down to you and said something directly, okay. But if it's not a direct God coming down and saying, "Hey, Andrew, I need you to do X, Y, Z," and this is how again, reading and like you
need to be careful. Yeah, you need to be careful about application. Yeah, I don't take a Okay, so I don't take a picture.
And God written by man.
No, I understand. Well, okay. Well, hold on. Let me ask you this, because it's a crucial question. If God exists, okay, which I think you think he does, he does, okay. Here's the answer to that pop quiz. He does, okay. But if God exists, does God have the power, this is a crucial point, does God have the power to create a text that is infallible through the hands of man? Does God have the power to do that? Okay, well, I disagree with that. Wow,
so you're telling me God is incapable of something?
I said no. I said, does he have the power? And that's yes. You said no. Yes, he does.
I said yes, absolutely.
Oh, I thought you said no. Okay, yes, he does. Of course he does.
I'll tell you why I said no. I can see that he can have the power to create text originally the way in which he intended to, but that does not mean over time.
Can he preserve it? No, but here's the thing. Can God?
I don't know what Ace is doing right now. I don't know what this attempt, and I think I find this very troubling. No,
Ace
can do that absolutely 100%. He can do that.
Right.
However,
that's right.
Because I think when we look at the Hebrew Bible and we look at the textual,
well, that's going to be the next question.
Clearly, this is not the infallible text. Nor is the Bible the infallible text. So I just don't understand, Andrew. I don't understand. No problem.
I know you don't accept the Hebrew. You don't accept the Hebrew.
I don't understand the methodology in where you attempt to affirm specific truths from within the Bible, knowing that the Bible, whether the Hebrew or whether the Christian, are fallible, as in they contain errors and contradictions. And multiple authors.
No, the Hebrew does not have contradictions.
Yes, it does. So Andrew at least is a sane person. And he will tell you there is only an idiot would believe that the
I'm not saying there's contradictions. I'm not saying there's contradictions.
Only an idiot would say that the Hebrew Bible.
Whoever says there's only one author.
Let me guess. All right. And let me guess. The Quran is perfect, right?
What about this? What about him?
So that's what it's going to come down to, Cynic. I have the utmost respect for it, but let me just say this, okay? It is the case that I think all scholars are going to agree multiple authors wrote it. In one sense, if they're Christian, they may say one author wrote it, and by that they just mean God. But they're not going to be saying that men didn't pen it down. It is the case that separate men from different times, different locations, wrote down these scriptures. That is going to be unanimously agreed upon unless you're brain dead. But the infallibility part is something that I'm going to argue it is infallible, and I'm going to side with the scholars and the people who interpret this scripture as I see it correctly, and that it is moral, and things don't contradict one another. Now, you are not going to interpret that way. You are a Muslim. You affirm the Quran. I appreciate that.
With me and Muslim.
No, and I'm not doing a whataboutism. I'm not doing it. No, but hear me out. Hear me out. No, but hear me out. I'm just saying both of us are going to appeal. Both of us are going to appeal to our respective cases.
That's not true. That's not true. Do not put me in the same boat as you. I will never stoop down to that level. Never.
What do you mean stoop down? Hold on.
I will always accept what the consensus of academics are saying. This book.
Oh, the consensus of academics.
It is
the consensus of academics. Okay, hold on. The consensus of academics do not think the miracles occurred in the Quran. They do not think that Muhammad split the moon. They don't believe.
I agree.
But you don't agree with that.
No.
You agree with that?
One second. Let me explain myself. Without Ian. You already got some stuff to contemplate on, like your Hebrew Bible not actually being profound. You might go contemplate that.
Ian, can you stop?
As for Andrew, when it comes down to miracles, yes, there's no way to look at miracles and go, oh, here's historical evidence for miracles. It's a freaking miracle. However, when like the Hebrew Bible talks about like the Jericho and the fall of Jericho's walls and the genocide that took place in Jericho, we look at the archaeological evidence. And guess what? We don't see that Jericho had walls. So there you go. So we see these archaeological contradictions with the Hebrew Bible. And there's several of these. And if you want, Alex O'Connor goes and rips through a bunch of these, by the way. So
I'm familiar.
It is not about the miracles. It is about the hidden traditions.
Don't bring people up.
Yeah, I will. Andrew, can I just say something quickly? So yeah, of course, there is power where God can make things infallible. But then again, that goes to say that I believe that this world was created the way it is, and it's and it just ticks on its own, like a watchmaker on the clock. It just moves at its own accord. Now, that doesn't mean man is not going to corrupt the most divine things. We've seen it. We've seen it with the fucking Crusades. There's no way that was allowed. These were men of God. This was popes were leading this. That does not mean that's attached to Christianity at all. So humans can do things that are against God. That's not very God-like, which leads me to, if we believe that there's always some sort of divine intervention at every step of the way, then we go into the whole idea of free will, determinism, which I don't want to get into. But can it not be that it was made to be a certain way, and what humans do is they corrupt things. They change things to benefit themselves. Think about the Old Testament, right? And the adoption, and how the Roman Emperor kept some things out of the New Testament because it wasn't going to be beneficial to him to control the populace of Rome. Kept some things out to benefit him politically. This is what I'm getting at. People who've had their hands in it, especially the politics of it, have misused religion. This is what I'm trying to say. We can't sit there and say that things, if something just is morally fucking doesn't make goddamn sense. If you go back to 10 Commandments, morality, and there's something there you're like, that scripture kind of goes against the basis of my religion. Should I just blindly follow it and say God told me to go and freaking kill a whole bunch of people because they're my enemy? Please, or this land is mine because it was so-called promised to me 3,000 years ago. I'm going to ethnically cleanse. I'm going to desecrate one of the most holiest places on the fucking planet. But doesn't that go against all the moral factions of the 10 Commandments? All the things we know that are right? Like you said, Andrew, it's innate. It's written. It's just what it is. Isn't there a moment of having some sort of reading it and being like, if that doesn't mean you're going against God. You're looking at it going, this doesn't really fall in line with
Allah.
Like, does that not make sense? Or are you guys sitting here thinking that there's no way anything on this planet that's holy has not been corrupted?
Absolutely. As from a Muslim perspective, I don't believe my text is holy, and I don't believe my text is corrupted. I don't believe my text is fallible, because my God doesn't leave me. The God that is in the Quran does not leave me with these moral dilemmas. Does not leave me with these questions where I have to second guess, his morality or his commitment to his attributes, as in his justice and his mercy. So my God doesn't leave me with these things. My God doesn't leave me with historical discrepancies, as in with the Hebrew Bible. My book does not have, or the textual comparison, the textual criticism of my text does not lead to the conclusion that there are multiple authors of this text. That is the difference. So I completely reject the comparison between my book and the Hebrew Bible, or the Christian Bible at that. As for the Hebrew Bible, I don't know what to tell people. There are clear contradictions, as in with the historical and archaeological evidence that we know, especially in that land, when it comes down to the peoples, the different peoples that are mentioned in the Hebrew Bible. Some of them, period, just don't exist, like the Amalekites. There is no reference of the Amalekites whatsoever. This is only in the Hebrew Bible. So these are clearly a fictional people. There's no such thing. The walls of Jericho, there's no such thing as the walls of Jericho. There's a bunch of these where it is not the case. Do we have the archaeological evidence? We have the historical evidence. It is just not the case at all. So there's no reason. I just don't understand how someone, who understands what the academics and understands what the scholars are saying and the evidence that they're providing, and then goes, nevertheless, I am going to go and I decide the whole narrative is true. Why? Why are you deciding the whole narrative is true? You're contradicting yourself. You clearly know that the whole narrative is not true because it's multiple authors. It contains contradictions. It contains historical inaccuracies. No reason to embrace this as an infallible truth, Andrew. There's no reason every day to smash your head across the wall trying to defend this nonsense. Just accept it. It is hyperbole. These people don't know how to. These people are simply writing a history that fits their agenda. What is their agenda? Land possession. They just want to possess land, and they want to alienate and demonize different groups, different neighboring groups, whether it's their own brethren when it comes down to Esau and his progeny, or whether it's their own cousins when it comes down to the Ishmaelites, or whether it's their own when it comes down to the Israelites versus the Judeans. So this is just how they do it, man. It is simply a book about a group of people who go out there demonizing and antagonizing the other groups and vilifying them and claiming that they've annihilated. It's hyperbole. It is materialistic. It is land worship. That's all it is, man. And you don't want to accept that, and you want to accept the God that literally commands people to go kill babies knowingly, that it can be avoided, or kill cattle or kill animals knowingly, it can be avoided. Knowing how this reflects in our modern day and how people have used this throughout history as an attempt to go commit the worst atrocities that we know. And yes, what they said, the Crusades also. The Crusades were built around these verses. Israel today uses these verses as well. So this is what it is.
You're gish galloping, my brother. You're gish galloping.
I just have to put this all in one package.
I know, but I have a good. So listen, everything you said there, and I had to bite my tongue because I want to let you speak. You're very passionate. And I appreciate that about you, Sid. And you're unashamed of certain aspects of your faith, which on one hand I appreciate. So I'll just say that there are a lot of problems with what you just said. there's a ton of problems. And if it is the case, so if you were to compare Islam to Christianity, there are going to be problems that people need to deal with on both sides. Okay, it just is the case. It'd be foolish to say otherwise. Now, I think these things that he's brought up, they can each be addressed, but they would need a fair treatment. We'd have to spend some time going over each point that he's making. One thing that he points out, and I'll just focus on this because I think this is interesting. He just said the point about, God's killing innocent babies in the Old Testament. Clearly that looks bad. It sends a bad message, makes God look bad, etc. So it's not good, right? Well, look, your God, right?
I'm gonna bring up the flood. I'm gonna just blow my brains out.
Oh. There's no moral high ground by trying to appeal to the Old Testament in a few little conquests. And whatever the amount you want to say. You want to say 20,000, 30,000, 50,000? Heck, I don't even care. Say 1 million. We know that's not true. But let's just say 1 million people God said to go kill. And let's say a portion of those were babies, innocent people. Okay? Let's just say that. That is a drop in the freaking bucket compared to the evil that has taken place in this universe since its inception. Now, if you're an old earther, if you believe that humans have been around for a long time and animals have been around for a long time and all this suffering has occurred, then you do not have moral high ground by trying to say, well, these texts that show the conquest in the Old Testament make God look bad. You want to know what makes God look bad? The problem of evil. That's what makes God look bad. And that's why people are that's one of the biggest justifications that people appeal to remain atheists, is how could a good God stand by when this horrific stuff is taking place? Rapes, murders, all kinds of stuff. Genocides on large scales, Hitler's crimes on massive scales are taking place. So there is no reason to try to get a one-up with Islam and try to appeal to these few measly conquests that God commanded. It's kind of a obtuse move, to put it kindly. It's not really going to do much.
The problem of evil is
I'm telling you, we're both in the same boat, and there really isn't any. It's not advantageous for you, because this is what my co-Christian mods do. My liberal who are very against the Old Testament, because they don't like these things because it makes them feel icky. They will say, well, that's terrible that God commanded people to go kill babies. I'm like, yeah? What was God doing when Hitler was exterminating 6 million Jews? What was God doing there? Was he unable to stop Hitler? Could God not stop Hitler? Was he unable to do that? No. Of course he could stop freaking Hitler. The point is he had a reason to permit it. And the issue is if you're going to say that God exists and you can come up with a justification to explain how he can stand for Hitler and exterminate 12 million people, if you can come up with a justification for God there, I guarantee you there would be a justification for God to be able to kill babies. That's it. So there is no need to try to do this appeal to the Old Testament to try to malign the Christian God, when you yourself are going to have a God who stood by idly while 12 million people were killed. Innocents, tons of people, Mongoloids, Down syndrome folk, just horrific.
I understand your point, Andrew. You don't need a highlight. We can talk about all the atrocities that humans have committed.
You said innocent babies.
We can talk about all the atrocities humans have committed. However, there is free will in this world. And man has been brought into this world to be tested, to be given, to go through good and evil, and for them to whether come out of this trial as righteous people or as wicked people, and there's a heaven and a hell at the end of the day. We acknowledge this fact of the world. If some people, if you have atheists or you have liberal theists who want to believe that this world must be the ideal, or this is paradise, or that humanity deserves that this world be paradise, that's fine. I will accept that argument, and I will tell them, I guess we don't believe in the same God. or you refuse to accept a God that will put humanity through the test. Now, if you find that God putting humanity through a test that involves life and death and good and evil, and you find that something that you can't reconcile with, hey, you know what? We can go our separate ways. At least I respect that. You acknowledge that. However, that is going to be our position, and I believe that is a valid position. And I believe death and life and good and evil are things that God dictated for mankind, because mankind from the very beginning, has to prove itself. You don't get to go and be part of the, heavenly civilization and go and without earning it, without merit. There needs to be some merit to you going out there and having eternal life and eternal bliss. Now, that's how we see it. You don't want to see it that way? That's your choice. As when it comes down to the Israelites and what they committed, no, there are things that are unnecessary evil. Now, that's my problem. It is not the problem of evil. It is the problem of excessive evil. That is my problem. I don't know if you've heard about that problem, if you've taken the philosophy classes or something about that. But yeah, there's not just the problem of evil, there's a problem of excessive evil. Now, that's what I despise. I don't believe God is allowing excessive evil, or God is committed to... Oh, he left? All right, whatever. Oh. I don't believe God is committed to excessive evil. I believe when there are babies, and you don't need to kill those babies, that you could take those babies within and you could raise them to be pious people, pious, righteous people, then there you go. I don't believe you need to go kill the cattle. You don't need to kill the women.
Okay. Yeah, but people kill cattle.
You don't need to go and have virginity tests, Andrew. You don't need to go tell Moses. You don't need to go. Let me finish, Andrew. Andrew, let me finish. You don't know, it's not dish galloping. What you were doing with Hitler and was dish galloping. I'm just explaining to you examples of excessive evil. Now, God doesn't need to go tell Moses to put his middle finger up some vaginas to see whether they're virgins. God doesn't need to go do that. God doesn't. That's excessive evil. And if you believe in that God, you believe in an excessive evil God.
It doesn't say to do that, and you say excessive evils, you're not going to get around what I said. What I said about the Hitler, you're not going to be able to explain it away with what you just did.
Hitler to go kill 6 million Jews. Hold
on. Answer these questions, Cynic. Was Hitler able to kill? Was God able to kill Hitler? Yes or no?
Was God able to kill Hitler?
Yeah, was God able to kill Hitler? Yes or no?
God didn't kill Hitler.
Was God able to kill Hitler? Yes or no?
It's a no. No, he didn't kill Hitler.
That is an insane statement.
God didn't kill Hitler. God didn't kill.
You're not listening. Are you not listening? Can you guys not hear me? Was God able to kill Hitler? Yes or no?
Was God able to take Hitler's life? Yes, he was able to take Hitler's life.
Yes, he was. But for some reason, and what you're going to try to do, and I appreciate it, it's fine, you can do this, it's okay, you're going to justify God not doing anything.
And what is the justification? No. What is the justification that I gave you to explain why God allowed Hitler to kill Jews?
Hold on. Don't flip it on me. I'm telling you. I'm saying you have to justify it.
I already did.
Hold on. Yeah, you said free will. And I think that explains, hold on. I think that explains a lot. And I think free will is a good theodicy, a defense. But here's the thing. God justifying that, or that being justified, to allow people to have free will is very unpersuasive to a lot of people.
That's fine.
Now, hold on. Your whole point was God telling people to go kill these babies. The way that hits the modern ear is just reprehensible. Yeah, sure. But you and I both are still going to affirm that God is good, despite people thinking that he allowed for things that are reprehensible. He allowed for Hitler to kill.
Allowing and commanding are two different things.
But here's the thing. I want you to go ahead and tell me something real quick. So when God kills all the combatants, the ones that are actually deserving, okay, all of the ones that are deserving of judgment, I have no problem with that. Kill them all, right? Fine. Now, killing the innocent babies, let me ask you, What wrong has God done to those babies? If he kills them instantly and by the sword, whatever, chops their head off, if their heads are chopped off and they are immediately in eternal bliss with God, what wrong has been done to those babies? What wrong has been done? And I want that to be answered.
Okay. No. First of all, that's a wrong to me. If that is the case, then the baby got something. Then the baby got something that I didn't. The baby got free pass to heaven, and I didn't. So that's a problem I have with God. That's one.
You're not going to be able to do that because you claiming that God is unfair because He gave babies heaven and you haven't got it yet. Look, you're going to have the same problem within your framework. There are people who have died early. There are people that have saw God quicker than you have. You know, for whatever reason, God has a plan for you to still be alive. No. Hold on. It's not a gish gallop. I'm specifically responding to one point. I'm not going to any other thing. The point you just made, which is it is unfair for God to translate a baby directly into heaven right away, and other people don't get that chance right away. You weren't killed when you were a baby, cynic, so therefore you're being unfairly treated. You're being unfairly treated because you have to go, well, that doesn't make sense. Because on your worldview, presumably, aborted babies or babies that are killed in infancy, babies that die of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, etc., those babies are going to be with God. Unless you say they go to hell, then we have a different problem. But if you're going to say that the babies go to heaven, then you already are saying God is giving
God
people
committed those unborn babies. All right.
Hold on. When babies die and they go straight to heaven, is it the case that you aren't getting that? Yes, of course it's the case. You're alive. You're however old you are. You didn't die as a baby. You're not in heaven. God is guilty there by the same lights that you're saying that He is guilty for taking the Amalekite babies into heaven. You yourself affirm a God who is doing the same thing. You are not going to be able to escape this. It's inescapable.
Okay.
So the point is that God said, "Yep, kill these babies." They were instantly put in heaven. There should be no problem there because you aren't going to be able to say a wrong that is done for that because you know why? And I'll make it explicit. Every day that you are with God rather than on this earth is a blessing. Every day. That's an irrefutable case right there for you. Okay, well then refute it.
This world is not meant to be this absolute bliss. It is not meant to be this evil that you cannot reconcile. This world is not neither of those. This world is a world of testing. It is a world where the creation of mankind and jinkind come to, and they experience the test of good and evil, and that requires free will. And God commanded, He gave the ideal commands and the ideal laws and the ideal morality, and He told the creation to abide by. Now, as for the death of women, as for the death of children, without the human element, without a human coming and killing them or executing them, now that is a test as well. That goes under the test of the loss of life. So God has ordained to us that there will be part of this test, the loss in property, the loss in life, the happiness, the loss in sustenance. So He has mentioned these things that there will be losses of that he will execute. Now that doesn't mean that we are executing these.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't speak to the point I'm making.
As for the babies, when God commands me to start chopping babies' heads, the rule is that at this point, if you're telling me, if God is telling me, if you feel bad about cutting babies' heads off, guess what? You're gonna go to heaven. Guess what I'm going to start doing? I'm not going to just line up all the Amalekite babies. I'm going to line up all my babies too, and my neighbor's babies, and my whole tribe's babies, and I'm going to chop all their heads off, and I'm going to send them in a free pass to heaven. And you can't tell me what the logic,
Here's the logic. God says, "Thou shalt not murder." But if He comes at you and says, "I'm telling you a specific command that overrides any general command. You go and do this. I know you don't want to, but I'm telling you to. You trust me. I'm your father. I know better than you do. You're a 2-year-old, and I know way more than you do. I'm 1 billion years old. I know way more than you do. You trust me. If he tells you to do something, you do it. But the reality of it is, apart from that, you don't kill innocent babies.
I'll tell you what, Andrew. No, I wouldn't trust the voice that's telling me to go kill babies. And I wouldn't trust a God. I wouldn't trust because God isn't appearing to you. God is not manifesting to you in all his glory. So you don't know shit. You are going simply by faith. Unless you're a prophet, you are simply going based on faith. And even the prophets, to an extent, are running on faith. You have no justification to go and follow the commands of whatever being you perceive in your head or that you perceive to be seen to go and kill babies. No, you do not. There's no justification.
What's your point? Can an omnipotent God show you himself in a way that you would know for certain that it's him? Can an omnipotent God do that? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay, so if a God reveals himself to me in a way that I know that it's him, then yes, I should do what he tells me to do. And so should you.
But that's not what happened with the babies.
No. You don't know if that's what happened or not. I believe that's what happened. It doesn't say it didn't happen. It says that God appeared to them and told them to do these things. Now, you can deny the text and say, well, God didn't appear to them. Okay, cool. You're just saying you don't believe it. That's fine.
Because it contradicts the other verses. No one has seen God.
No. Contradicting the other verses. What are you talking about? If God appears to them as an angel or
no one has seen God.
No, it's not talking about seeing him in all of his glory. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about appearing to God, seeing the backside of him, or his voice, or he appears in a tornado, or a pillar of fire, or he does whatever it is that he does to show his majesty, and then they know that he is the one that they're dealing with. He is the one that is bringing the plagues upon Egypt. He's the one that's doing all these different things, and he's like, look, I'm telling you, you need to do this. There's a voice, it's very clear, it's saying to do this, okay? And they know, because God, if he exists, of course you and I agree, he is able to show himself and prove himself to a person in a way that they would know that it is him. There's no issue there. Otherwise, you're going to be questioning the omnipotence of God. So, of course, you agree, I agree, God can do that. I'm positing God did do that. And you don't have any textual reason to say otherwise. It says that God did it. Now, God told them to kill these babies. So the reality of it is the whole unfair claim and anything that you're going to try to appeal to on that, as far as you're not dead, it's going to apply to your God, because there's plenty of people who have died already and that are with God in heaven now, and you aren't, so you can do, oh, you're unfair, God, I didn't die in infancy. That charge falls immediately. There is nothing.
No. I just don't understand why, if I'm someone, and first of all, I know God forgives all sins except idolatry. As long as I don't die on idolatry, I'm forgiven. I don't understand I don't understand why the logic doesn't apply. Where it's okay, if God is justifying the killing of these babies as in a free pass to heaven, why I can't line up all the rest of the children and all the rest of the innocent people within the tribe and just wipe them all out and send them to God Almighty where they would reside in heaven? As for me and my punishment to do so, I will just go on my knees and be like, God forgive me, I didn't commit idolatry. And this is the logic. If you are justifying the killing of babies as a free pass to heaven, or the killing of innocents as a free pass to heaven, then I will kill all the innocents and I will send them to heaven. This is God. I highly doubt God is going to screw himself over by revealing such a logic to mankind. I really highly doubt that.
Here's the problem with what you just said. It is the case that if God comes to anyone and tells them to do something, they ought to do it. Okay, that's just logical. They ought to do it. Whether they do it or not, that's different. No. But here's the problem. Here's the fallacy. No, hold on. Here's the fallacy that you just employed. You think because God commanded a specific people to do a specific thing, that you somehow generalize that command, or think that you can draw a general principle that you can go and do what they tell. And that is going to be a problem in all sorts of areas. If you think that you can do something that has been commanded specifically to certain people, that is not a thou shalt for all people for all time, you're going to take a principle that is a very specific instruction to a specific group at a specific specific time and think that you can employ that at all times and go against what the scripture clearly says, which is thou shalt not murder, you do not take the innocent life of babies, you don't do it. But if God comes and tells you to do it, you can do it. And
so if God does some sort of display in where you're convinced that he's God and he contradicts his earlier self, it's okay. And we can't deduce any sort of conclusions out of such a scenario. Yes, I can't conclude that I'm dealing with a schizophrenic God. That seems to be contradiction himself. I can't conclude that this God who is justifying me killing these babies, which, by the way, ignoring any psychological effects that might come about of killing a mass group of babies, chopping their heads off, ignoring what that would do to the human psyche alone, and justifying that as free passes to heaven, and somehow not allowing this rule to apply in a general sense. I don't understand how you could believe in such a God, Andrew. I don't understand. I think at this point that you really you have to be psychotic. You have to be.
And now you see why I got so mad earlier. It's because this is what the agent of chaos wanted when he started this conversation in the first place. Literally, this conversation was seated and birthed. Ray, are you there? Raya Baya, are you there?
Well, I'm sure. Okay.
This conversation was seeded and birthed by the agent of chaos himself, and that's why I got
I like this conversation with Cynic, and I think it's important. I think what he just said about God contradicting himself. Look, God can have a command for a certain time that doesn't apply to all times. That is not schizophrenic. God says that for example, God says sacrifice animals. It is true. We are bound to sacrifice animals. If you don't do it, it was a sin. It was violating God's law. It was wrong. Now, if you sacrifice animals, it is wrong. You don't sacrifice animals for God anymore. You don't do these atoning sacrifices because the time is different. There are different applications at different times. That does not make it not objective. In logic, it is still the case. And when you understand this moral philosophy, the way these things work, when you have something that is objectively morally wrong, it doesn't mean eternally morally wrong. It doesn't mean at all times morally wrong. It means it's morally wrong at that time objectively. It means it's independent of any mind. It is something that you ought to do regardless of anybody's opinion. That's what it means to be objective. It does not mean it's eternal.
Is that what objective means?
Hold on real quick. A lot of people get confused on that. So if God says, look, thou shalt not kill infants, okay? That is a command that is general, and it is true that people ought to follow that. That doesn't really have any kind of time. That doesn't have any time a time expiration on it, but it is the case that he says that you follow his commands, and that is, if someone gives you a direct command, it supersedes any general command. There's plenty of times where people are told things specifically that they would not have the authority to do on their own. God will specifically tell you to do something. If the God of the universe tells me to kill a baby, I ought to kill a baby. And I know that people don't like that. They find that to be problematic. But if you believe in God, God has already permitted a ton of babies to be murdered, raped, etc. So don't get all high horse with me. Don't get high horse with me and tell me that if God commanded you to do that, that's a horrible thing to do that. But it's okay for God to sit there and tap his toe and sit with his arms folded while billions of people are getting whatever.
Free will, good and evil, tests. We already told you. We gave you the explanation on why God permits evil in this world. We gave you an explanation. Now, whether you like it or not, that is your choice. However, for God to command evil, and not allowing us somehow to come with a general understanding or a conclusion out of this evil that he commands is ridiculous. And then somehow to insinuate that God, that something objectively exists as in like the morality behind killing babies or the immorality behind killing babies, and then to say that this objective rule can be changed later on, then the rule from the very beginning wasn't objective, it is subjective.
Hold on. Just to check your consistency real quick, Cynic, because that's problematic, right? Just to be clear, I don't think the Israelites liked it. You're going to have to argue they did. I think they hated it. I think they thought it was wrong.
I think they love it. I think they wrote this. I think they co-wrote this hyperbolic expression of a theme of defeating an enemy, a fictional enemy, so they can boast to themselves that they are or they can later on give themselves the excuse to go on and commit genocide. That's what.
Cynic, are you pro-life? Are you pro-life?
I'm anti-abortion, and I would say I am. Yes, I would say I'm pro-life. There you go. Sure. Why not? But even though you understand from a Muslim sense, it's different. But okay.
From conception.
And by the way, you're lagging or your mic is fucking.
No. Listen, goats.
I don't know what's up with your mic. It's just coming in and out. It's breaking in and out.
I just want to know. I just want you to tell me: is it the case that from conception on, no abortion? Do you agree with that, Cynic?
Conception on, no abortion. Honestly, me personally, like you can have an abortion at that. I believe it's wrong, but it wouldn't be like what you're thinking, killing a life or ending a life. No, I don't.
What are you talking about? That is ending a life. What? No.
Because you know, within our paradigms, whether it's Jewish, whether it's Muslim, we believe a soul is 40 days.
I don't care. Listen to me.
It's your choice, but you're asking from my paradigm.
Hold on. That is an independent, and what I mean by independent here is it is separate. It is not identical to either the mother or the father's DNA. It has its own DNA, its own genetic coding. It is different. It is biologically separate. And it is the case that it is a human. There is no argumentation. You agree with consensus? Just appeal to the biology. Look it up on ChatGTP or anything you want to.
I'm going to appeal simply to the biology. Hey, first of all, I'm good. I studied like almost 2 years of biochemistry. I'm good. I don't need to go Google anything.
Why are mom and dad fighting?
I don't know.
Why are mom and dad fighting?
It is the unanimous consensus among biologists. Unanimous. 95% that it is a human life. A new, distinct human life.
Wow. Andrew's now going to tell me a cell is alive. I understand cells are alive.
No, listen to me. You can look it up. You said you agree with the consensus. This is indisputable.
Life. Yes, it is the definition of life. I understand. Cells are alive. Your skin cells are alive. Your blood cells are alive.
I like your vote. Can I moderate this?
Help this guy, Chef.
All right.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I said I would mute up. I just want to say that it is a human, and it's just the early stages of development.
It's not a human.
It's a human.
It's human. It's not a human. It's not a human. It's human. It's not a human.
No, hold on. If anybody that disagrees with what I'm saying, and ask, is it the case that upon conception a new human life is conceived? Go ahead and go.
Very
look it up.
Oversimplistic way of setting up that
problem. It is a new human.
Okay.
So the arguments are personhood. That's what you're arguing about. You're arguing about personhood, and I'm not arguing about.
I just got good. How did we get to this talk about abortion? I mean, how did we get to this talk? I just arrived.
Because the point is that he's in favor of killing innocents all the time. He's in favor of killing innocents all the time. That's what I'm saying.
You mean you're in the favor of killing innocents all the time? I'm not. I don't believe it. I am simply telling Andrew, this is the difference between me and Andrew. Andrew believes that God can command the killing of innocents. I believe God cannot command the killing of innocents. I don't believe in a God that is going to contradict his earlier principles. Andrew believes in a God that can contradict his earlier principles. I believe in objective morality. Andrew believes in subjective morality. That's the difference.
Stop fighting.
Stop fighting. I love cynic. I'm just saying God has the power to take life. And that's okay. He has the authority to do so.
Doesn't mean he's allowed to command me to go chop babies' heads up.
Yeah, God can command you to do things. Yeah,
and I wouldn't accept it. I wouldn't accept it.
Well, it's fine. Deny God's commands if you.
And that's why I don't believe in your God, Andrew. That is literally why I don't believe in your God. You enjoy that God of yours that can command you to kill babies, and you don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. So wait. Where's this referring to scripturally? Because are you referring to Amalek? Because nowhere in the New Testament does it say that. So referring to that, I mean, that's just horrendous. I mean, that I don't believe any God himself, of course, would command the killing of women, children, cattle, and so forth. No, I don't. I think that's perverted. Or a prophet would sleep with his daughters, get drunk and sleep with his daughters. I think that's anybody would agree that that's just nonsense.
I agree. That's nonsense. And
Andrew, the problem with this type of logic, or this type of moral standpoint, is that it's being used to justify by Zionists killing Palestinians. Right? Because they're all inferior. They all should be our slaves. They all should be, they're all terrorists. They're all this and that. They can be future terrorists. So murder them, kill babies. And this is what has been said by their ministers, by rabbis, by rank and file soldiers, who much of the world, especially Palestinians, view as terrorists. The definition of terrorism are acts of violence, including intimidation, committed against a civilian population and pursuit of political, ideological aims. This includes religion, race, or nationality, and so forth. So they view these people as terrorists. I think these lunatic, psychopathic ministers are terrorists. So this type of biblical, scriptural justification, which Netanyahu referenced over a year ago, has been used to murder children. So, Andrew, what do you think about that?
Forget it, man. I think we're done.
Okay. Yeah, forget it. I think we should talk about Lebanon and whatnot. What's going to happen next? Because they've asked for extra extension for 30 days. Apparently, Netanyahu was saying that they found more weaponry and more, Hezbollah hideouts. That's what so Israel's asking for more time, more extension. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think.
Just have to wait and see. Shev, you're from Lebanon, right?
Yes. I don't think.
What's your take on it? Would you support Hezbollah moving forward, or would you not support
Hezbollah at all? I've never supported them.
Chef, remember the days came about and we would say who's gonna win, and like if we win or not. Remember those days? Here we are.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Didn't you kind of lose, Michael?
Did we?
Mikhail?
Did we not? What is victory and what is defeat but achieving military objectives or objectives you set out at the beginning?
Yeah, but
did we not? Did we? Is there any objective that we failed to achieve? From the objectives that, as Palestinians, as Hamas, as the resistance as a whole, the objectives that have been set out from the very beginning on October 7th, have any of them been failed to achieve?
Well, I don't know what they are. Tell me.
We've achieved them all: demonizing Israel, alienating Israel, obtaining captives, exchanging captives, releasing most of the Palestinian prisoners out of prison. Not only that, Chef, we got bonus objectives that we didn't even plan out, and I'm not sure if we did or not. I mean, there's going to be discussions on this, but taking out Hezbollah's leadership that was involved in Syria got taken out. taking out Iran. Iran had to leave Syria now. The fall of Assad. All this can be attributed as consequences of October 7th. One can't sit here and deny that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what has Israel achieved when it comes down to the objectives it set out? Defeating Hamas? Didn't defeat Hamas. Getting their captives back? They didn't get their captives back. Just taking out Hezbollah? They haven't taken out Hezbollah. Eliminating the threat of a nuclear Iran? They haven't eliminated the threat of nuclear Iran. Did they create a new threat inadvertently by allowing Islamists who are practically Hamas ideologically take over Syria, and not only that, but have a power like Turkey backing them up that's literally building stealth fighters as we speak? I mean, Israel has lost on any metric, honestly. I don't see a metric that they actually won on, other than implementing mass destruction and killing women and children for the majority part.
But I hate Hezbollah.
Hey man, I don't hate all of Hezbollah, but there were people who were responsible for what happened in Syria, and I feel like they got what they deserved, didn't they?
Yeah.
And not only that, but we saved you guys. Now Hezbollah's going to have to take a back seat. Now Lebanon is going to be more... I mean, I don't know about your guys' politics. If you can even fix your politics even after a weakened Hezbollah, but that I'll leave that for you guys. We'll see where you guys take this.
So Chef, my question to you is: they don't want Lebanon to buy weapons from Russia, right? They don't want Lebanese army to buy weapons from Iran, right? They only want you guys to buy weapons from these Western countries and whatnot. And even you don't have your own manufacturing. You can't manufacture your own weapons, right? Because they have these rules, regulations on it. And if you look at the Lebanese army, it's mostly Christian, and they have old ass weapons and whatnot. And everything is controlled inside Lebanon. It's like they're trying to control you guys in a way where you can't attack the Zionist entity. Would the right decision be that support something that actually will fight back, like Hezbollah or something?
So I do think that having our own autonomy would be good. I do think that in principle, militias are a good thing. I am anti-Hezbollah specifically because of their internal actions politically. They are very corrupt. They try to maintain the status quo because the status quo supports them. They are always opposed to any kind of change because it might risk their seat. They were very against the 2019 protests. They are just scummy, and they get away with being scummy by saying that they are the resistance. Which sure,
what was the protest for? 2019.
It was there was this bill that was going to tax WhatsApp use or something around those lines, and people got angry, and it then became a wider protest about the corruption within the government, and they wanted to oust certain figures, certain known figures, which led to the prime minister resigning at the time, and they wanted the president to resign, and essentially Hezbollah stood against the protesters, supported the status quo, supported the president.
So you guys wanted WhatsApp to charge? To get the taxes from the WhatsApp app. Is that what it was?
They wanted to charge civilians. Our government wanted to charge civilians. They would take the money for usage of WhatsApp or something around those lines.
Okay.
That's how it.
And then
that's how it began.
What do we do about?
But then
since 2006 up till now, what do we do about Israel violating Lebanese airspace more than 22,000 times? What do we do about the Sheba farms?
Well, what is Hezbollah gonna do?
You can't do anything.
Yeah. No, because look, here's the thing. If Hezbollah was competent, then sure, but they're not competent. And not only are they not competent, but they are internally corrupt. So they are corrupt, and there is nothing that they can show for it. The only reason they were tolerated was because of this resistance thing, but they failed. So what is the point of having them?
But how did they fail you guys? They got the truce and everything went. I know there's a lot of damage. Iran gave them, I think, $50 to $100 million, where each one of the people they got, I think, 14 or 15. I know it's a small amount, 14 to 15,000 US dollars. But did they achieve like a goal? I mean, of some sort. What do you think? But the Shibboleth farm is still under their control.
They didn't achieve their objectives they set out.
Their secret objective was to gain leverage over Israel, over the gas in the south. So because Israel was trying to essentially take claim of the gas in the south. And I support this. I support the idea of using military might to have leverage over a gas that should be ours. But they failed. They overestimated their own power. So they failed at doing anything good, and throughout the years they have been succumbing. So I don't feel sympathy for them.
Remember what were Hezbollah's objectives when they came out? What was it that we're gonna keep fighting until there's a ceasefire in Gaza? That's their objective, right?
Oh, and also they killed Hariri. This is pretty.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wants to deny that.
Now there's no Hezbollah left.
That's not true.
Fuck them.
Where's the leadership?
No one's denying that, bro.
They're still there.
No one here is clapping for Hezbollah, but let's not be stupid and say, "Oh, Hezbollah's gone." That's not true.
They're not gone.
They're separated.
No,
I support the Lebanese people. I support the Lebanese people, whatever the majority people support, and, because the Lebanese army is garbage, is shitty. No disrespect to Chef. They don't have the new weapons, and there's Western forces at play here. They do not want them to have any good weapons. They want them to buy weapons from the Western countries, which I do not like, because they could just get their weapons for cheaper from Russia or Iran or something, right? And they don't have to be under the Western limit control. Oh, you can only buy this many weapons or this weapon. I mean, goddamn, you're getting the money for the weapons, and you still want to put controls on this.
It is
back to the 70s.
What'd you say, Pamalo?
It's like Beirut back to the 70s.
No, not in this life. I think it's a sovereign nation. It should stay like this. And on the top of that, Chef,
like they can pull shit off.
And on the top of that, according to the hold on, hold on. According to the Times of Israel, they went across the border into southern Lebanon to occupy it, or settlers were there to survey the land. And when they were coming back, IDF saw them, and the IDF said to coordinate with them next time you go for security. Instead of fucking condemning it, coordinate. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about?
Well, they've got to work with the partners.
No, that's illegal. You're going into a sovereign nation.
No, there's nothing illegal.
Forget about it.
No, I care about it. I'm not gonna forget about this. This is some shady shit. No, it's the same shit that they're doing in the West Bank. They'll go in there with the IDF soldier security, and they'll have the protection by the IDF, but then they're committing crimes against the Palestinians in the West Bank.
They're gonna work together.
I mean, did it work in their favor, Chef? Here's a Lebanese guy, Chef, and he dislikes Hezbollah. No problem. Chef, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Chef. You think if Israel knew that their attacks on Hezbollah would allow the Islamists in Syria who are pretty much ideologically aligned with Hamas to take over Syria and allow Turkey to practically present or express influence on Israeli border. Do you think if Israel knew that, would they have really engaged in Hezbollah, or would they have attacked Hezbollah with such ferociousness as they had?
I mean, it's gonna be a game of what is more worth it for them, what is more in their I think the way they are looking at it now is they want to destroy every Iranian proxy, no matter what, that they will deal with.
I mean, who's a greater enemy? If you had to, an Islamist lying Turkey, or this axis of resistance led by Iran?
Who's the power player in the region right now?
The power player in the region right now depends where exactly in the region.
Well,
I've always said before, there are only 3 power players in the region.
Yeah, but like right now, at this moment, with Hezbollah flat on its face, Syria pretty much having to reassess itself, Hamas obliterated.
Hamas is not obliterated.
Hamas is obliterated. Come on.
No, it's not. Hamas achieved its
They're obliterated. Come on, Miguel.
Its military objectives. Hamas achieved its military objectives. Not only that, but they have today. There are more Hamas members today than prior to October 7th.
Right. People that have been recruited without any training.
Doesn't
okay.
matter.
The fact of the matter is, Miguel, you know what's going to happen? You're going to fire a rocket out of Gaza into Israel.
Not our point.
What? The party is on.
Not our point.
Okay. And right now, Israel has the gloves off, and they're going to do this. And that is it's something. You live in a very valuable area in LA.
It's not our point.
You basically said, right? It's amazing how you're willing to fight to the last Palestinian as a keyboard warrior over there. It's amazing.
I'm the keyboard
because you really couldn't care less whether or not these people have horrific lives. You really couldn't care less if they have horrific lives. Who cares? I mean, your brother is dying. Who gives a shit?
That's not.
I know. I mean, and I understand your mindset, Michael. I really do.
I
really do. I mean, be proud. Be proud. You're willing to fight to the last Palestinian, and you must be proud.
We didn't fight till the last Palestinian.
I know. I understand your mentality. You don't give a damn about your brothers. You never did.
Israel,
you never did. If you had some gumption,
let me tell you.
And what have you? Let me ask you. What have you donated to the Palestinian cause outside of being the clubhouse room? Not a thing, right? Not a thing. All that money you got, did you donate anything?
Stronger will to sacrifice.
Did you donate anything? You didn't donate anything. You throw your money in your pocket.
God's approved. I think that's
right. Okay, fine. You know what? If you're happy with this, more power to you. You're happy with this, more power to you.
To sacrifice.
Right, I know. It's just you don't give a shit. You're not gonna know all that money you got. You're not gonna.
Let him finish, then you can respond.
They do not have it. They do not have it within them. That's what we prove. If you wanna fuck with us, you do not have the willpower, you do not have the fortitude, you do not have the manpower, you do not have the training to come and give it to us and actually achieve your victory, your ideal victory.
Right, and of course, look at the shape of Gaza. You can say Hamas with the shape of Gaza. Aren't you proud as you live in your luxurious Los Angeles home?
Guess who's going to rebuild it?
Because you don't give a shit. You like with more than Palestinians probably would. Doesn't make you happy more than Palestinians? It makes you very happy. Why? Because you have no morals. You never had any morals.
But guess what? No one is going to.
You never had any morals. Anybody? Did you throw it in? How much have you donated to Palestinian causes? You never donated shit because you don't care.
Businesses.
Go fuck you.
No one is going to restore you. Go fuck yourself, you kite. Go fuck yourself, bro.
Well, actually, Sek, you made an interesting point. You said
cook that kite.
Fucking doesn't even speak Hebrew, not even from Israel. Fucking, and he wants to call me a fucking keyboard warrior. You little trash. You trash. You guys have nothing to do with that region. And I'm simply giving you an analysis that is based on objective metrics. That I'm bringing up 11. He literally despises Hezbollah, and I'm telling you here, listen from him. Listen from his perspective. Meanwhile, these fucking losers who are not Israeli, who don't speak Hebrew, want to give us an analysis of a situation when literally the military chief of Israel came out and said, we fucking failed. We fucking failed. I don't know how more clear can this get. Remember what these guys were telling us from the very beginning of this war. Oh, we're gonna resettle Gaza. We're gonna colonize Gaza. We're gonna set up beach property resorts, and that is what they were saying. Did they achieve any of that? No. Were they able to defeat Hamas? No. Were they able to release the captives? No. None of this, and Gaza, guess what? It is going to remain under Hamas's control. As it is today, it is going to remain under its control. Just because they destroyed buildings, just because they killed the majority of casualties, 70%, women and children, does not mean that these clowns achieved a victory. Regardless of what Pomalu and his kangaroo fucking ass wants to keep lying to himself and telling himself.
Mikhail, cool it. Take it easy.
The people of Gaza thinks about what happened as a victory.
Yeah, look, I mean, the thing is that America...
Aigo, you're a kike. Aigo, you are a kike. Aigo, you are...
Are you going to help build Gaza?
You are a kike, Aigo.
Maybe I will. The guys there did a bad thing. They didn't do too much of a good thing. He said, Gaza's a beautiful area. It's got the best weather. It's right on the beach. It's got to be rebuilt in a different way.
Who's going to control it, Pamela? Who's going to control it? Please tell me, Kike, who's going to control it? Please. Who's going to control Gaza, you or the Palestinians?
Hey, let's just be sure here. Pomalu is not a Jew. He is not a Jew. So don't insult him by calling him a... Don't call him a kike. Pomalu, you can call Pomalu a cracker. You can call him an Anglo-Saxon. Don't call him a kike because he is not a Jew. He is from Australia.
Okay, all right, go on.
Yes. Let's just be clear on that one.
Okay, all right. I know you have to make it all personal all the time, but it's true. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with the poor people of Gaza? Like, seriously, are they going to be Polynesians now?
Can you go look at before October 7th and tell me the percentage below poverty line in Gaza, and tell me who the fuck cared about the Gazas before?
Apparently, there are 150,000 women nursing babies right now in Gaza. It's amazing to me that 150,000 women are nursing babies, but yet the place is going through a famine, and there's a genocide, and everybody's like being uprooted. Look, it's a shocker. And then you tell me that it's going to be rebuilt by other people because you're standing there with your hand out waiting for handouts, like you've always done.
Like we've always done. We're the ones who received over $300 billion in American aid, the most out of any country in the world when it comes down to American aid. We're the ones who are looking for handouts. Okay, buddy. We're the ones who are receiving billions till today in compensation for the Holocaust, even though most of the people who witnessed the Holocaust are freaking dead. Yeah, we're the ones who are receiving handouts.
We're the ones who work for our money.
You work?
We work.
Work for it. Work for it. As mercenaries.
No. We do a lot of deals. You know what?
A lot of deals. A lot of deals.
You know that.
Business people. $300 billion in aid. If this fucking went towards NASA, we would be fucking colonizing Mars right now. Fuck Mars. We would be colonizing Titan right now. $300 billion in aid. For what? For a fucking apartheid state? For a fucking 21st century apartheid state. $300 billion.
We know where to invest our money. We know how to deal with it.
We know. What is the investment? Where is the investment? What investment? You're investing in a fucking piece of land that literally you can cross the fucking from sea to the West Bank in less than 3 hours. You can cross it on foot. You're investing investing in a land like that fucking doesn't bring any benefit to the world, only acts as a mercenary forward military base for American hegemony to make sure that this region, this Levant region, never unites under a very specific demographic that would tie up Anatolia, east the Mediterranean, and northern Africa, which would lead to a creation of a state, which would lead to a state or a union that would dwarf the EU, that would dwarf even Russia, that would lead to that would compete against American hegemony. That is pretty much your goal. You have been brought here as mercenaries because the Europeans despise anything called Jewish. You've been brought here as mercenaries, as cannon fodder to hold back the Arab Sunni horde. That is all it is. That is your goal, and that's why they pay you the billions of dollars. And you will continue to die as cannon fodder for the West to ensure American and Western hegemony. That's your goal.
Yep. Well, let us do that then, eh?
No problem. You keep doing that. You keep doing that and see how that goes for you. But guess what? You're not doing shit because you are in Australia. You are not an Israeli. And you don't speak Hebrew. And this has nothing to pertain to you.
I do.
No, I do too. But anyway, let him...
No, he doesn't. As much as he likes, all he can do, this guy, is go on ChatGPT, the AI creator, and fucking keep making new images every day to fucking prove himself that he has a leg in this fight. You got nothing in this fight, man. Nothing.
I'm gonna give him that, Pamalo. You do make it.
Swear to God, if this guy fucking puts some effort in anything else other than his AI editor.
You got to come up with this one, bro.
This one's fantastic, man.
I actually miss Pamalo. Where you been? I thought he went in IDF or to serve in the military, but...
Yeah, don't worry.
Old man, you can tell, bro. What military this guy gonna serve?
One thing is sure. As long as Hamas will stay in govern in Gaza, Gaza will not be rebuilt.
Okay, there you go, talking nonsense. Literally, the ceasefire included the rebuilding of Gaza.
No one will invest penny in Gaza as long as Hamas is there. It's for sure.
According to Seneca,
Hamas can fuck your ass in your shower.
There is literally an American envoy by Trump that is going to go to Gaza personally, and he is going to meet down and sit down with Hamas.
Wait, are you serious? Wait. No, are you actually serious? You mean Steve Witkoff will go to Gaza and sit with Hamas?
Yeah, is that his name? I forgot the name of the envoy. But yes, there's an envoy that's going to go and sit down.
I have a question for you.
American government official? What?
Are you actually telling me this is for real, bro? Like, this guy's going to go to Gaza?
Yes, I'm telling you this is for real.
Listen, here's what I hope if he does it, bro. I hope Trump, this is his last time as a president. He can never run for U.S. president again. I hope he can fix the two-state solution. Actually, guys, I'm going to share an article right now from 2021. You guys can read it if all you guys got time. You're going to be surprised. It's from the Times of Israel. I'm going to go right now. Let me look it up. Yes, I got it right here. I'm going to share it in the link copy right now. I'm going to post it in the chat. Y'all can read it right now.
What's the headline?
It says, Trump, I thought Israelis would do anything for peace, but I found out not to be true. I just posted in the article, El Normo. You can go read it if you're
Well, I guess Trump is lying. Trump doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Okay, listen.
You don't know that Trump is anti-Semitic? You don't know that?
What is it?
You didn't know Trump is anti-Semitic?
How is he anti-Semitic when this nigga's daughter is married to fucking...
I don't know.
Bro, he's a Jew hater. I said this long time ago to all the Zionists, but unfortunately they do not understand my perspective.
You know what he's He's such a Jew hater. He actually had a rabbi giving him a blessing after his inauguration. What a Jew hater that must be. Unbelievable.
I don't know, is he?
After his inauguration.
So he's not a Jew hater,
So Pamalo, why did the Jewish folks in America vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrendous that he is such a Jew hater.
No, but why did they vote for him?
Can you imagine a Jew hater?
I'm asking you, Pamalo.
Yes,
Bro, focus on the question, Pamalo. Focus on the question. why didn't the Jewish community in America, right? More than 70% of them voted for a comedian instead of voting for Trump.
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I really don't know. Don't ask me.
Wait, Amir, you're telling me that Donald Trump actually hates Jews?
Bro, yeah, I've been witnessing this for a long fucking time. The only people he look at Elon Musk, fucking, you know, with the Nazi what is it called? The salute.
That yeah. Look,
and guess what, Anas?
Yeah.
The other thing I brought up was evangelical. You know what their belief system is? They want to corner all the Jews into a corner, into Israel. They want to genocide them or convert them into Christianity. That's what anti-Semitic.
I know that for a fact, but
That's anti.
Did you guys see that guy, the manifesto of that black guy who shot the school?
Yeah, I seen it, bro. I don't believe
That's crazy, bro.
What was in his manifesto? Can you summarize?
I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but the fucking room, there's a room booming on this topic. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the White Testament is always answer truth, right?
He's like the Jewish problem, brings up the Jewish question or the Jewish problem.
What's his name?
I don't believe it to be true, bro, to be honest. I don't understand. I have a question, though. If evangelicals hate Jews, why are they supporting the genocide of Palestinians?
I'm going to put that like this.
Guys, I have a question, Amir. If evangelicals hate Jews, why are they supporting the genocide of Muslims? That's what I don't understand.
So evangelical, they're the biggest funder of Netanyahu. And Netanyahu doesn't give two fucks about the Holocaust. He doesn't give two fucks about the Jewish community. And I think he's fucking atheist, right? The issue I have, it's all about money at the end of the day. Money talks, bullshit walks. That's what
Look, on the left side of me, I've got Netanyahu. On the right side of me, I've got Trump. The two of them have come together as partners in crime.
Yeah, bro.
Amir, tell me something. What did you think of Musk's salute?
That was fine.
Oh, that's a Nazi salute. I am against it. I condemn it.
Tell me. Why do you think he did it?
He did it because he supports a neo-Nazi regime in Germany. He's funding one of them.
Is he working for them?
He's funding it.
How do you know?
Go look it up.
Which one is it that I was
AFD.
looking
What's the name?
AFD Party of Germany.
Yeah, there you go. And on the top of that, Pamadu, last week, there was a neo-Nazi rally in front of a fucking parliamentary building. Yeah, in Australia.
Did I get there by Tesla?
Did you see it in Australia?
Were they driven there by Teslas?
They didn't say any of that, but they did have like a video. The guy with a whole bunch of people with a banner. He's like hate the Jews and this whole bunch of other stuff, man. He's like a neo-Nazi rally.
Amir, I have a question. Actually, Amir, I have a feeling with that thing that happened in the school, they're gonna try to like scream Palestine, Palestine, blah blah blah. You know what I mean, Amir?
Wait, do you not think he just did that salute in like joy? Like, I mean, he was the happiest man on earth. That's his man.
Hitler salute makes him happy.
Let's get on our knees and let's suck on the Elon Musk dick. Let's do that.
Yeah, because like the Nazi salute.
Cynic is very raw.
You know that it is insanity to attempt to justify it. Like, I wish the ADL would have just fucking shoved a fucking dick in their mouth and didn't say anything. But nope, they came out and defended immediately. This guy, immediately, man. It's insane that what these people, and Elon Musk is trying to appeal to the right and far right, whether it's in the United States or whether it's in Europe, and he's trying to appeal to them as some sort of leader or some sort of messiah figure. Everybody knows this, but what he's doing is a Roman salute. No, what he's doing is he's throwing his heart into the crowd. Yeah, whatever, bro. But if that was AOC, if that was Kamala Harris, if that was a fucking Democrat, and they did even a semblance of such a move, of such a wave, they would have been annihilated.
Look at Kanye. He came out, he called them out, and he got clipped.
Oh yeah, he wants to go.
If it was a black person or brown person, they would have got clipped.
Yeah, but it's okay when the guy from literally apartheid South Africa, whose grandfather literally moved from Canada, went to apartheid South Africa, and literally supported apartheid and was one of the most and expressed racism and racial supremacy. Yeah, that guy, it's okay.
It's
okay. Let them do it.
But surely, if you supported apartheid, he'd be supporting Israel. No?
Pamalu. Here we go. Pamalu, do you condemn Israel's support for apartheid South Africa?
That wasn't my question.
Can you answer that question? Can you answer it?
No.
Okay, so you will never. I promise to God, none of them will ever answer this question. None of them will ever answer the question. None of them. I have been asking this question every single time. None of them will answer it. Do you condemn Israel's support for apartheid South Africa?
There was no support for apartheid.
Yes, there was. There was monetary and military support for apartheid South Africa.
Those were deals.
Nope, that is not the truth. And if I find you articles, but let's concede for a second that what I'm saying is the truth. Is Israel worth condemning? If what I'm telling you, Pamalu, if what I'm telling you is the truth, just concede for a second. I'm not saying it is the truth. I'm saying I hope you know what an if statement is.
Yes,
if Israel did indeed support apartheid South Africa monetary and militarily, would you condemn it?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course I would.
All right.
I'm totally against apartheid, absolutely. But look, personally, I don't believe there was apartheid in Israel, and I certainly don't believe that Israel actually ever supported South African apartheid.
It did, and here we can go through the articles and show you if you're interested.
Hold on one second. We can go through those articles, sure, no problem. But the thing is that what I will say is that I don't believe apartheid is in Israel.
You don't have to believe anything. All you have to do is go look at a map of apartheid South Africa and look where the African communities, the indigenous African communities, where they were placed. And all you need to do is go look at that map and then compare it to the West Bank and tell me they don't look the same. They literally look exactly identical.
Nicole, I'll tell you something that's really interesting, because if you want to look at Judea and Samaria, if you take the Palestinian Authority, is a Jew allowed to buy property in Judea and Samaria? In the Palestinian Authority.
They don't buy it, they steal it. They don't buy it, they steal it.
They're literally building settlements all over.
Question, yes or no?
They're literally doing it right now.
No, it's a very simple question to answer. It's either a yes or no. Can a Jew in a Palestinian Authority area in the West Bank buy a property? Yes.
Are they Palestinian?
Can a Jew?
Are they Palestinian? I'm sorry. Are they Palestinian?
Okay, let's say they are Palestinian, but they're Jewish Palestinian. Can they buy?
If they are a Jewish Palestinian, I don't have a problem. They can buy.
No. What is the law right now?
There is no law. The law is that there is no law, and that Israel can do whatever it wants, and it can set up illegal settlements however way it wants. That's the law.
Okay, so you've evaded the question completely, because the Palestinian Authority controls and has full control over its areas, and it has
full control of its areas. Did anybody actually believe that? Does anybody actually believe that? With above room temperature IQ, does anybody believe that the PA actually has full control of its areas?
Yeah. It's got control of its designated areas, and I will tell you something now, that a Jewish person, whether they're Palestinian, whether they're Egyptian Jewish, whether they are Tunisian Jewish, Moroccan Jewish, whatever, they cannot.
Yes. Let's allow the Jews. Let's allow the Jews who are not Palestinian, who are Israeli. Let's allow them to come and buy whatever land we have left that we want to establish a Palestinian state on. No. With the fact that Israel acknowledged itself as a Jewish state, so the Jews literally have a state, and yet he wants us to allow Jews who are not Palestinian to come and purchase land in our future state. I see.
You know what apartheid is? You
Now you know what apartheid is. Yes. You know what apartheid is? Apartheid is taking a population, not giving them the rights, the rights of the state, of people in a state, and then not only that, but systematically tearing them into pieces, putting them in cantons, and eliminating freedom of travel in hopes of reducing the population to a point that you can continue your settlement project, and then not only that, but armed settlers, extremist settlers to the teeth, and sanction pogroms in the West Bank, and not only that, but allow the settlers, especially after the deal with Hamas, release all the settlers who were involved in the terrorism and the pogroms against the West Bank as an attempt of revenge against the Palestinians, forever fighting against Israel. Yeah, none of that is apartheid, but the Palestinians simply attempting to preserve whatever landmass they have for a future Palestinian state and not selling it to extremist Jews who are coming from around the world. Yes, that is apartheid, not the other way around.
So many problems with this argument, it's not even funny. First of all, if they were preserving it for a, quote, future Palestinian state, why didn't they just accept the Palestinian state when it was offered a half dozen?
Because the mental retard.
That's the problem.
So the fact is they rejected it.
All right, then you give me the first time. Can you give me the first time? 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 Hey, Mike, you're literally a fucking cracker from LA who never been to Israel, doesn't speak Hebrew. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about the history. As the first time, you fucking cracker, if I fucking find you in LA, I will slap your eyes out of your eyeballs. I will slap your eyes out of your skull. Now, shut the fuck up and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Mike. Let's talk about it, Mike. Let's talk about it, you fucking cracker piece of shit. That if you went to the Middle East and lived for a few months, that you would have skin cancer. You would literally have skin cancer, you fucking trash. Now, as for the second point, if you're gonna go, shut the fuck up, you Australian kangaroo fucker. Shut the fuck up, you kangaroo fucker. Go wash your fucking mouth with kangaroo semen, you kangaroo fucker. Go get the fuck out of here. You two literally have nothing to do with Israel or Judaism or Hebrew. You're literally fucking white guys playing pretend. A bunch of white guys playing pretend. A bunch of white guys playing pretend. I'm not crashing out, Mike. Mike, I will fucking school you on this if you fucking want to go point by point. Now, if you want to go back to the partition, go look at the presumed Jewish state, which is literally separated by territories. By the way, the Jewish state. Can you go look at the demographics of the Jewish state real quick? Can you go tell me the demographic? Hey, shut the fuck up. When I'm fucking talking to you, you fucking open your ears and you listen and answer my question. That is what you fucking do, Mike. You tell me, go look at the fucking presumed Jewish state in the partition and tell me the demographics of the presumed Jewish state. Can you go do that? Can you do that once in your life and go show me the demographics of the presumed Jewish state, Mike? Go right ahead.
Have you been singing the song
Amir, drop the fucking kangaroo fucker. Drop the kangaroo fucker. We're gonna deal with Mike.
But mother, you gotta stay on mute. Let him finish saying what he's about to say, and then you can respond back in a minute.
You fucking want to be semis. You literally want to be semis. My fucking toenail is more Semitic than you, and then your whole lineage. You can extrapolate from my toenail a fucking Semitic race. You can literally clone my toenail, and we would get a Semitic race more than you fucking Anglo-Saxon pretenders. But okay, no problem. Now, Mike, let's go to the partition plan. And can you please tell me the Jewish state? What were the demographics for the presumed Jewish state? Can you please go do that real quick?
Who knows?
Can you go ChatGPT? Can you ChatGPT the demographics for the Jewish state under the partition deal of 1947? You're not answering my question.
There was a problem with it.
You dumb, pasty white cracker. Answer my question.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, no, it is not irrelevant. You dumb, pasty white cracker. Answer the question.
No, it is irrelevant.
Okay, drop him. He's not going to answer the question. Literally proves to me that you guys are cowards. You You guys are fucking cowards, and you refuse to answer questions.
What question would you like answered?
I want to know the demographics of the presumed Jewish state under the 1947 partition plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you want to know?
I want to know the demographics. Am I speaking fucking Chinese?
But what do you claim they were?
Please answer the fucking question, you dumb fuck.
They
You dumb fuck. Don't make me fucking yell at you. You dumb fucking pasty white shit. I will fucking find you in LA, dude. I will fucking hunt you down, Mike. Answer the fucking question. Fucking answer the question, you fucking pasty piece of shit, before I find you. Before I dox your ass. Now fucking tell me, what are the demographics? What is the demographics of the presumed Jewish state under the 1947 partition plan? No.
Slapping me around, bugging me.
Well, like, wallah, tell me where you live, man. Tell me where you live. I will come to you, I promise. Wallahi, I'll come to you. I swear to God, in less than an hour, I will be at any spot. I swear to God, I will take your life. I will take your life. I swear to God, I will take your life. I will take your life.
What the hell is going on?
I will take his life, I promise.
Cynic is crap.
I will be that guy for sure. You fucking trash. Answer the question, you fucking trash.
Leave it, just to be John Rush. Leave it.
They'll never answer the question because then it will just expose. It will expose everything.
They're back. You're crashing out.
Mike, I said, one thing genocidal shit in my speech,
fucking ridden trash.
Amir, I know you're all into freedom of speech and all the rest of it, but like this is crossing the line.
They're not crossing the line. I will fucking come kill this dude. I will kill you. I will literally kill you.
Come on, man. Cynic. Guys, just 1 second. Cynic, brother, look, all due respect, let's not do this, bro. This room is not for giving threats, man. Come on, bro.
All right, then
Look,
tell the pasty white trash who fucking felt so confidently coming up here to talk and to somehow express that, oh, we're the ones behind the failure of a fucking peace deal or a solution, to simply answer the question, what would have been the demographics of the presumed Jewish state in 1947 under the 1947 partition deal? That's all I want.
Jews and Arabs. What else do you want to know?
What? No, what was the demographic? What is the demographic split?
Jews and Arabs.
Which percentage? What are the percentages under the Jewish state?
What difference does it make?
Okay, there you go. You're not going to answer. Well, then if it makes no difference, then answer the fucking question, you kangaroo fucker. Answer the question.
But how's it going to help you? How's it going to help your cause?
What's the problem? Answer the question.
I want to know. It's going to help your cause.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't help the cause whatsoever. Please fucking answer the question.
Why should I answer the question?
Answer the question. Then what's the problem? If you can't answer the question, what's the problem?
You know, the answer is simple. It's 95 to 5, right?
To help your cause.
95 to 5.
Yeah, 95% Arab, 5% Jews.
Yeah, exactly. No
I am talking about the Jewish state in the partition plan, when they decided to separate an Arab state and a Jewish state. The Jewish state, the fucking pseudo-Jewish state, if you look at the map, you know that neither the Arab state would have worked nor the Jewish state would have worked. But in the Jewish state, I want one of these fucking idiots to tell me the demographic split in the Jewish state. I want the demographic split.
95% Palestinians and 5% Jews from, everywhere.
If you could go back to that time.
That is not the answer. That is not what I'm asking. That is not what I'm asking.
It's something like 45%. 45% Jews.
If you could go back to that time.
What was that? What was that, Mike? What was that?
It says 45% Jews, but then it says only 34% Arabs.
34% Arabs? Where are you getting that? Show me. Let's pull up your source. ChatGPT. Okay, so here we go. Let's ChatGPT. ChatGPT. What was the demographic breakdown of the Jewish state under the 1947 partition plan presented by the UN?
Amir, let Norma. Come on, let Norma, Amir.
Oh, he gives me a headache.
So the population, this is the population. So this was what was going to be the population. The population was going to be 498,000 Jews in return to 407,000 Arabs, which would have left a demographic split of 57 to 43, roughly, give or take. That's what it would have led to. Now, someone explain to me, how the hell are you going to obtain a Jewish state under such demographics? One, knowingly, the birth rates of the Arabs are much higher. Secondly, why the hell would the Arabs allow borders when literally the demographic of the so-called Jewish state is practically contained also almost a 50-50 Arab population? Why the hell would the Arabs create borders, unnecessary borders, in their own land among themselves when literally the Jewish state would have a pretty much equal demographic when it comes down to Arab and Jews? Why the fuck would that make any sense? And also, how would that preserve the Jewish state's demographic in the future?
Because they started the war, because they disagreed and they lost. So it's a better.
This guy, bro. Kia, I told you yesterday about ethnic cleansing before the war, right? You never answered that question.
You gave them the pretext of actually doing some ethnic cleansing.
I'm confused. How does this deal make sense under these demographics? How does a deal make sense when you have 498,000 Jews in return to 407,000 Arabs, roughly, figures change. How does that, why would the Arabs allow borders and divisions literally between such a high demographic within the Jewish state and the Arab state? Why would they allow that?
Because they did not allow it, and when they started the war, they lost.
War? The partition deal was before any war broke out. The partition plan was before any war broke out.
Yes, but then there was civil war and the Arab war.
I'm sorry. Well, the Arabs throughout the decades literally have been told by the British that there will be no division. There will be no establishment of a Jewish state within their land. And then all of a sudden, the British pull out, and then they're saying, oh, there is going to be a Jewish state. And then the world is calling for a Jewish state in literally a landmass, cutting up the landmass in a way that doesn't make any sense, establishing